drought season, man, come find me. Fuck up them Road City players if you feel me, rewind me, I tell the truth. I love these young G's to death, but I can't accept the fact that there's a handful left. Deadly as they wanna be from blocks and parks. This shit done got me sparked. Them dogs done barked. In the Deli Rose, fuck punk niggas and fake hoes. Me and my niggas blow big trees and slang CDs, red rum. And maniac low from off the block. Better watch that shit you talk before we smoke up your block. In the Deli Rose, fuck punk niggas and fake hoes. Me and my niggas blow big trees and slang CDs, red rum. And maniac low from off the block. Better watch that shit you talk before we smoke up your block. Fuck what you heard, man. Cause you ain't seen shit till you seen a nigga blow the bitch behind a bitch. Life's a trip, but you can get hit quicker than a switch and cast the fuck out like a snitch. I'm higher than a soprano pitch. Don't fuck around with this, class dismissed. You can turn into ashes for asking, you past tense. And I can't go back, so I hit the fence. Have sense and hide in the trees like a chick. We smoking on the hip, because street life is like a tip. Here today, gone tomorrow, reality slaps like a pimp. Your future's looking dim, fucking with Mamie, red and kin. At the end of the fucking mission, that's when your shit should begin. Don't get the tripping, but we can all go loony. Get the popping in clips and get the blood, the dripping, paint the town red. Go back to banging and bloodshed, creeping through the bushes, leaving niggas for dead. This city, 50 city, just ain't big enough for the roads. Have them grabbing for they hoes when I come with my bros. We know we're banging out hits, taking a nigga bitch, flip wigs, pick them up and drop them off in the ditch. In the Deli Rose, fuck punk niggas and fake hoes. Me and my niggas blow big trees and slang CDs, red rum. And maniac low from off the block. Better watch that shit you talk before we smoke up your block. In the Deli Rose, fuck punk niggas and fake hoes. Me and my niggas blow big trees and slang CDs, red rum. And maniac low from off the block. Better watch that shit you talk before we smoke up your block.
Where are we gonna go? Why is the world so cold? Will the Lord take my soul? Who's really in control? Will the truth ever be told? Nobody really knows.
What's happening, everybody? TGIF, happy Friday. Welcome back to the PDXDOPE Live podcast. And yes, I'm your host, Double R, and I'm in the building. And we're going to go ahead and get this thing started tonight. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. But anyway, first up, I got my man, Jermaine Mason, in the building. What's up with you, brother?
Oh, man, not much. It's all good. Happy Friday.
Man, right on. Appreciate it. Right back at you. Next up, we got Marquetti. Miss Petty LaBelle in the building. What's up with you?
What's up, y'all?
All right.
Nice shit. It's a Friday. I want to send down my prayers to the Mays family, to my man Scooty. He won't be on tonight. He has some family business to take care of, but I want to send my prayers out to them. Yeah, man, it's Friday, so got some interesting stuff to talk about tonight. Some crazy topics. I don't know if you guys got a chance to take a look at some of those stories and stuff that we had on there.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Kay Chrisman. She's a lady I've been working with for a long time. She works for me now, but she hooked me up with this Japanese sake.
Must be
And
nice.
boy, it is nice because this shit is fire right now, and I'm sipping on this, but I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to get too intoxicated. You know what I mean? So I'll be sipping on that. Welcome to the people that have just joined the show. We just now getting started. So anyway, y'all heard about y'all see the Chris Rock special?
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I've heard so much about it.
Oh my, you're tighten up. You're gonna see that as soon as you can. It was out there. What's up, Pam? What's up, Ebony in the building? Loyalist, loyal to the soil. Appreciate y'all for joining us. But yeah, I watched that joint, bro. Ivory is the one who told me about it. I was kind of hearing some things, but I didn't really catch it. And he was like, man, did you see the Chris Rock thing? And I was like, nah. He's like, man, So I was like, all right. So as soon as I got off the phone with him, I didn't have Netflix, so I ordered Netflix, nigga, and I ordered Netflix and I watched it. I sat up and watched it right after I got off work. And man, let me tell you, man, I was like, ooh, wee. I mean, the comedy, he went back, he took it back, you know what I mean, as far as that straightforward, real comedy shit. You know what I mean? That shit was hard to me.
Yeah,
Real.
he did a really good job, man. He had a lot of great topics that social
Yeah.
topics that he's one of those social comedians. So
Yeah.
he had some good social topics, and naturally he addressed the Will Smith and the slap,
Yeah.
and everything and stuff. I think he did a good job with that. I think he most definitely could have did a half hour on just that slap alone.
Man, he could have did a whole show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
the
he only
thing
did
is-
like 5 minutes on it, but
Yeah,
it was
no,
good.
he
Oh
did.
yeah,
He
it's
did.
a
He
lot
did
of people
9
that's
minutes.
butt hurt. That's why I know it's got to be great because people
It's
are
not.
butt hurt.
It's like 9 or 10 minutes. But the thing is, people are focusing on and I'm glad he got that out. You know, that little
Yeah.
10 minutes. That's all I needed. But what trips me out about the whole thing is that's all people are really talking about. They're not talking about the entire set. I've seen a couple
Right.
of people talk about the different
Right.
stuff, but he talked about abortion. He
Right.
talked about, you know what I mean? He talked about being raised and having 2 parents and shit. You know what I'm saying? And having some values, certain levels of values and shit like that. You know, he talked about the royal family. He talked about mediocre white men, you know, who feel like they're victims, because the whole thing was based on victimology. That's one of the things that you can be famous and people are addicted to attention, is what he
Right.
was talking about, you know. But they didn't talk about those things as much as far as what I could see. I mean, there's some shows out there talking about it, but he really talked about those sensitive subjects that make you feel uncomfortable. You know, I mean, he even had me over here kind of cringing when he's talking about the abortion shit. But the point that he made when he did that joke, it's right there in your face, and this is what's happening. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't try to dress this shit up or call it something else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It is
hey,
what it is. You killing.
yeah, he
Yeah.
said you killing
You got a
babies.
choice. You got a choice.
Yeah.
You got a choice, and
Yeah,
you killing.
even in the building, what's happening with you. Yeah, no, and a lot of people was mad about the trans stuff that he did. I to me it was really, I'm glad that he tackled that. You know what I mean? It's like it's like they kind of stopped us from being able to express ourselves, or at least when it comes to comedy. You know, comics were kind of trapped in this box to where if you said something that would offend somebody, you canceled, fuck your career off and your money. So then you had to kind of scale a lot of your comedy back. And we came up on raunchy comedy.
Right.
And this is like a new thing, you know what I'm saying, where people are so sensitive.
Sensitivity. Ralph Tresman ass.
And the fact that they really got offended. A lot of black people was mad at him because he was talking about when Will slapped him, and he was like, how he talked about how he loved Will Smith, how he championed for Will Smith, how that was his guy, and then now, after this shit, he's like, I just want to watch this movie. He said, I watched Emancipation just to watch this nigga get beat by the master. Yeah, hit him again. You missed the spot. Like, I mean, like, and a lot of niggas was mad about that. You had, a lot of black, in black America, or say black Twitter and stuff like that. They were tripping off him saying the word nigga, or they were saying that why don't he, talk about white people? And I'm like, did you guys just watch the last part of the special? Did you not hear him talk about the royal family and how they created colonialism and how they are the OGs of racism? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, he went in. Go ahead. I'm just going off on a tangent, just sharing some of the information that I got from it. But go ahead, brother.
Man, niggas is just they just sensitive, man. So anything that a nigga is offended at, that's what they're gonna address. So that's why naturally the last 10 minutes when he talked about Will Smith, that's why that was a big deal, because of niggas like fuckery and niggas like bullshit. You know what I mean? So he was on some bullshit. So that was just like, okay, let's talk about this. Or I didn't even know that people were mad about him talking about the lashings and stuff like that or whatever. But
yeah, because it's like this African dude, he did a video on it, and he was talking about how he thought that the whole thing was funny and everything except for that joke, and he was, and I was like, I guess I understand how we might feel about that, you know, but it's like, motherfucker, you ain't the only black person with lineage. It's like to slavery, you know what I'm saying? So if you feel that way, that's cool, but this is comedy, you know what I'm saying? And you know, goddamn well, you know what I'm saying? This is fucking hyperbole, you know what I'm saying, at best. You know what I'm saying? It's him saying like, I you know, not that he want to see a white man smash him down, you know what I'm saying? It was about him getting whooped on, you know, or whatever.
But I think that Dave Chappelle kind of he fought against, you know, the Me Too movement more or less, and he's making it a lot easier for comics to be able to stand their ground and really be able to talk about those sensitive topics that weren't sensitive before, but now in today's climate that is sensitive. So I mean, shout out to Dave Chappelle. He did make it, you know, he made it come back to where, you know, it is okay. But I think that it is also like when you reach a certain level, a celebrity, that's when it's a problem. So like you have like maybe let's say a Cat Williams, or you might have other comedians that kind of have a cult following, but they have more or less of a hood following to where it don't matter what they talk about or what they say. You know, people are going to show up at shows anyway.
Yeah, but check it out though. It used to be like that, but now you see. I mean, it's like with the little sample size of, you know, of black people that were really upset about this shit. It kind of trips me out though, because it's like they were upset about the Michael Jackson thing when he said, "You motherfuckers listen to Michael Jackson shit," but R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's a problem. You know what I mean? He's like, you know, but it's like, and then it was Michael Jackson, he was found not guilty. I mean, O.J. Simpson was found not guilty too, but most people you ask, they'll say that he was guilty, no matter if he was found not guilty. You know that to this day, everybody believes that he's still guilty. Even to this day, even black people that cheered when he was found not guilty feel that way. You know,
it's selective. It's selective, most definitely.
Selective outrage, and that's what he talked. I mean, he talked about the Capitol. When they rushed the Capitol and shit, and he was like, these white dudes is out here feeling like they victims. You know what I mean? It was like, to me, it's like the way I think. I mean, you know, it's like I get it, man. You know what I mean? And we've talked about on this podcast a number of times when these niggas get triggered about certain topics and shit, you know, and I'm always on the other side of it or in the middle of the shit, you know, or Nate would say I'm an antagonist or whatever, but I really think like that though. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, you know, but I thought it was great, man. You know, I just don't, it's like you said, selective outrage.
Yeah, he did a great job, man, with conveying his message, man. And what he wanted to get across, man. I think that was great, man. Like I said, I think he could have went into the Will Smith thing a little bit more, you know what I mean? But you know, he did what he did, and Netflix played him a whole bunch of money too to talk about
40 million
for 2 shows.
Hey, so listen, the show that he did was live, so it was the first actual live show, and he did mess up. But probably when you might have seen it, if you didn't watch it live, then you didn't see it. You know what I mean? You can catch it, but what it was is when he did the joke about how he was explaining the whole Jada's, how it all started. And he had said, instead of saying concussion, because that was the movie, he had accidentally said, what's the other one? The Emancipated. Right. And then he said, "Oh, I fucked up the joke," or whatever. But then when you watch it, the replay of it is a smooth cut. But I mean, for him to be able to do that whole shit live with no, you see what I'm saying? Like that was like one of the only mess ups he had, really. You see what I'm saying? Right. Because this is live. You ain't no cut none of that shit. You feel me?
I mean, he's a perfectionist, man. You know, he most definitely he's a star at his craft. So, you know, he know what he's doing.
That was offended when he said I didn't start. He said, ain't nobody picking on this bitch. That's what he said about Jada. And every black women, they lost their fucking minds because this nigga said that. But fuck her though. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel.
Absolutely.
If you want to, you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. That's how I feel about it. He ain't no goddamn body but a nigga. But
so what's his name that has a what is it? Is it the 5150 show?
Corey Holcomb. And he said
So let's
He
say Corey
said,
Holcomb, for instance, right?
no,
So
but listen, Corey Holcomb, I was gonna say something, I'll let you go. But
uh,
Corey Holcomb, he said about that shit, he got love for Chris. He's like, man, he was like, I could say this in confidence. He was just like, but Chris, you let them niggas off the hook. He
Right.
was like, cause I would have went in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
right. You know, Corey Holcomb is one of them comedians too that, you know, he gonna say what he want to say, and he got a certain following. It might not be, you know, 100,000 people or 20,000 people, you know, lined up to see his show, but the following that he got is consistent. They're gonna show up in every city and every town, and he can say well, pretty much whatever he want to say. He
Hey,
don't
I seen him live. I went to see Corey live when he was here last.
and he's funny as hell.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, he's definitely funny. And he's controversial as a motherfucker because, you know, about abortion, he tackled that shit years ago. He said some shit where niggas was like,
no,
yeah, they was cringing like a motherfucker. When that subject come up, bro, it get trippy, man, for real. He talked about, he said, Don, he said, he was like, these motherfuckers put they shit out there. He said, I wasn't in any entanglements. He said, these motherfuckers put it out on the internet for everybody to see. He said, I never thought that two talented motherfuckers would ever do some low down shit like that.
He said, have you ever cheated on a motherfucker and then got interviewed by the motherfucker that you cheated on? It did say like, well, how was it when you sucked his dick? Like, how did you feel?
No. He said, oh yeah, it's like they took the microphone. He put it out there though. He was like, it was calling you a predator. It was calling you a bitch. They was calling you a bitch, and then you hit me. Like,
right.
Hey,
For
it
real.
was beautiful. It was beautiful, you know. But you had some haters though. I was looking at a lot of hate, and it was just like, you motherfuckers gotta stop. They got to stop this sensitivity shit. And I was happy to see. I see, you know, I'm on the fence when it comes to Roland Martin, you know. But when it came to this though, he was on that. He was like, man, what's happening, bro? Like, motherfuckers got a problem with him saying the N-word, with him saying bitch, him a comedian, but we got hip hop music, and that's what that is the vernacular. That is what niggas say. Right. You know what I mean?
I mean, what are you supposed to call them a person, you know, when they acting out of character? I mean, hey, if the shoe fit, you know,
throw that bitch on and skate in it while you at it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Man, be who you are. Shit. You use a bitch nigga, be a bitch nigga. You use a hoe, be a hoe. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, Jada, he was around here bobbing and weaving on all these motherfuckers, but we don't. That's just the ones we know about. What about the unseen?
Oh man, they was painting the picture, man. She been on the red carpet with all kind of dudes and stuff like that. I get people just wasn't even really paying attention to it until, you know, he's the one that kind of made it, you know, public. And then once he made it public, then she had to kind of straighten it out, and then then Will had to say something. So
you talking about the boy?
Yeah, August Alsina.
Yeah,
he kind of put it out there. And then once he put it out there, he was. Yeah,
man. I ain't the onlyest one. Shit.
I mean, but that's what happened when you give a sucker some pussy. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Nigga can't keep his mouth shut. You know what I mean? Like,
hey man, that nigga's a lover boy, nigga. He's all into his emotions and shit. That's what kind of nigga he is. He's like a half a fag, so he get caught up in that shit. Yeah, he like that.
Oh, they said that he's in love. He said that he was in love with a dude just recently.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But yeah.
Did you say a half a fag? Did you just say that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I heard that. I know what I heard, damn it.
He said, hold on, rewind this one time.
I need you to run that back. I mean, I want to make sure I heard that correctly.
Oh man,
drum roll, please.
All right, so I done said nigga more than that.
Right.
Oh, but see, don't nobody care. You see what I'm saying? Like, it was selective outrage.
No, I'm not outraged. I just thought it was funny.
I'm just saying. I know. But I mean, like, somebody when they hear me say that or whatever, they're cringing or whatever, they're gonna unsubscribe or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because
you know my mouth is foul.
You know, or I'm gonna.
Even where was you at? You talk shit about the goddamn wedding and not being invited, and you was not there.
It was not there.
Man, look,
Oh,
Jump
she
on her
showed up
helmet.
for the show.
Jump on her
Yeah.
helmet one time. Yeah.
Right. Her name was on the marquee and everything.
Yes, it
Mhm.
was.
It was on the
Everybody ain't
marquee.
privileged. Everybody
The whole,
didn't get the privilege.
you know what I'm saying? This was some big time shit. You missed out. Yeah,
Yeah, you
I'm
did.
like, yeah, this shit was fly as a
Ray Ray
motherfucker. I had,
smiled like Eddie Murphy raw all night long. He had that Eddie
yeah.
Murphy raw smile.
Listen, I had
every
on my fresh dig, man. I mean, listen, I went out for this brother, man. You know what I'm saying? I was making sure I was coming sharp. Best believe.
Yeah.
Look, she said, "Who gets married at 3?" Look, we did.
That shit that with the comeback.
Oh.
Oh
No,
my
I understand, man. People got to work. I get it. I get it.
Oh my god, that was a good comeback though.
No,
Yeah,
it was. It absolutely
but you know,
was.
I was talking about this with I think Ivory. We was talking. We was like, it was Friday at 3, and I was like, we were talking about how it was perfect. The amount of people, it wasn't like too many people, and it wasn't like nobody. It was right there. You know what I'm saying? So it made it comfortable, and I think that having it on, I thought you guys might have strategically had it on Friday because you know that some people you might, they made it more difficult for certain people that you might be questionable on
Right.
but it worked out perfect though, bro. I'm telling you, that shit was fresh, bro.
Yeah, I think she kind of
Fresh.
she liked it the date, 3/3/23.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's one of them, she be them date
Astrology.
Yeah, like she wanted it to kind of like line up or whatever. So, that was just the date that we picked.
You could have still came after you got off though.
Absolutely.
Because that's when they really got cracked.
Mhm.
Yeah, who was that? DJ George?
Yep.
Yeah, DJ George was playing cuts. The food was
I just
fresh.
want to know where you got the pastor.
Open
What's his
bar?
name is?
That shit was an open bar. It was beautiful.
Yep. Pastor Fraser.
Oh, is that who
Hey
that
man.
was?
Mhm.
Hey, listen.
He on
stepped
his
up in-
church on 27th and Killingsworth.
He stepped up in that motherfucker, nigga. Like I knew as soon as everybody started looking around, and then as soon as I see him, I said, "Oh, we just finna start." As soon as he got in there, he was fashionably late. I don't know if that was y'all had that design like that, but apparently he was a little late. He stepped up into this thing, though. He was entertaining and all that, bro. It was good.
Yeah. I was like, oh, he's a comedian.
Yep, and then the kids, your boy and the little girl and stuff like that. Shit was all tight, bro.
Mhm.
It was like a fucking movie or some shit. So I felt famous for a minute. That time there.
I enjoyed myself, man. I'm glad everybody else did too.
Well, I didn't remember getting home, but I was home safe. Passed
Talking
out.
about everybody come through. We gonna kick it at the house.
Sure.
I looked at him like, okay, sure, yeah. I was
Oh my
swollen like a
God.
puffer fish because I want to eat stuff. I didn't know it was stuff with crab and shrimp and lobster. I had no idea. Took two bites and it was like, I was like,
I'm glad I don't got them allergies. Shit.
Man.
yeah. It's not like I wanted, like I pick and chose that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me just have an allergy. This shit is new. I didn't know. I used to eat that type of shit. I can't eat it anymore. It's some bullshit. High powered hating.
High powered hating. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that was one of the best things on the menu. I mean, everything was good, but that fish was fire.
Yeah. Man, I'm glad I ate big before I came, because as soon as we got there, we was drinking mimosas, nigga, a bottle of champagne, bro, getting fucked up already. I was like, man, and then Jermaine finished. I think you finished off the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Then and then the bar opened up. And then oh man, they was pouring good too, bro. I was like, I was pacing myself, and when the food came, it was right on time, nigga. Because I was because Nisi had gave me a bottle of wine because she had to leave, and so she gave me this bottle of wine or whatever that she had a case, and then I shared it with everybody, and I think that wine kind of really set it off, But I didn't get sick where I left sick, you know what I mean, or stumbling left or right. I had my focus when I said, okay, it's time for me to go. And Ivory and Yolanda had already left about 10 minutes before me, and I seen the door, kind of look, and just boom, boom, boom to the car, boom. I knew I had my route already in my head. How I was getting home, bro. It's like, nigga, I had to look at my video cameras just to remember everything for the night. You know, and then I figured it out, and then I was cool. But I had the recovery day, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm glad everybody had a good time, and we had that little photo booth too and stuff. So
Yeah, that that was
Yeah.
hard. I was gonna have some of those photos on my phone. I should have uploaded them so I could be showing them off. But I'm gonna keep that. That's family stuff, and I think it said not to post no shit.
man, listen, man. I mean, that shit is everywhere, bro. Like,
I didn't give a fuck. They
bro,
just did it
I ain't
anyway.
gonna lie, bro. Like, I mean, everybody they broke them rules, bro. Like, especially my woman's friends, man. They had that. I mean, they got some bomb ass shit going on, man, on that shit, man. Like the whole night and everything else and stuff. Because we don't get the professional pictures back for like I think maybe for like a couple weeks.
Okay.
In some of the videos or whatever. So
Well, I didn't post nothing to you guys. I mean, I did get y'all coming.
I
in
followed the
playing shit with my
rules.
rock.
Listen,
I followed the rules. I just posted
Yeah.
our pictures. I didn't post y'all stuff. I didn't even do
listen.
that.
So I took a picture. We was all sitting at you know, seated. And so I took a picture like this of us, boom, and I posted on my Instagram, right? And so then I'm looking at the invitation, and I was like, oh, I went on Instagram and took it down.
Well, listen, man.
I was like, no, but then I read it. It said of the bride and the groom, so I was like, oh, I could have kept it up, but you know, it was just I was trying to be on my best behavior, bro. I wasn't trying
man,
to be
even the photographer, right?
Uh-huh.
Because we had took probably about I think maybe 3.5 hours of photos, man. That from that whole night. And she had even posted, she was so excited. She had posted a couple photos on her shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And my woman had went on her page and seen the shit. And I was like, man, tell her, you know what I mean? Can you tell her please to take that shit down? Or, you know what I mean? So I was just like, everybody had pretty much broke, even the goddamn photographer had broke the rules. You know what I mean? Like,
damn.
She had
I
like
didn't.
She had like 3-4. Like I said, her friends had like damn near made stories of the whole goddamn night. I mean, the shit looked. I ain't gonna lie, the shit looked tight too, bro. Like,
right.
Like it looked super. I mean, so I mean, at this point, I mean, pretty much everybody was doing it and stuff like that. Monkey Mike was doing it.
He did it right off top. I was like, oh, niggas
D-Ray
don't
had
read.
did it. D-Ray had did it. He was going live. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, he was.
you know what I
Hey, it
mean?
was
So,
fresh, man. Everybody looked good, man. It was
hey,
just,
man, they did too, man.
it
So
was
I'm
like
like,
a
man,
movie, bro.
I was just like, fuck it, man. I understand. He's, you know, people was like, man, where was y'all at? And asking
Yeah.
him, man, who was that and who was this? And oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was going on. And
Like they would just go bust it in the motherfucker. It was just go bust.
You wasn't invited, nigga. Shit,
Man.
that's why you didn't know.
You know,
For that very reason, that's why you didn't know what was going on, ho. It wasn't for you to know.
You know, if you was there, you was an important person, you know, and it wasn't nobody who wasn't supposed to be there. At least not that I seen or whatever.
No, everybody was there, man. Was, you know, close friends of ours, man, or people that we really care about or really support, you know, our union and things like that. So, you know,
right.
I love the crowd, man. We had actually, I think about 110 people showed up. I mean, we had probably invited maybe like 140. And then half of those other people were some of my family from Monroe. Some of those, my family, they couldn't make it here, but some of my family from like Tennessee they came, and my sister from Houston came, and stuff like that or whatever. So
right on. Yeah, that shit worked out. I wish my dad and Jane could have came out.
That was one thing that I really wish, man, they would have been able to be there too, man. I really wanted them to be there, man. When I was talking to your dad, man, I can kind of hear it in his voice, man. I was just like, man, I didn't give him a hard time or nothing, man, because I know, like, you know, he going through some things and balance some stuff or whatever. But I was really bummed out, man, when I talked after I got off the phone with him. I was like, damn, man, I wanted him to come so bad.
Yeah, me too. I'd have been dope to see him there. But I know, I think Nisi was telling me that I think Jane was sick, and then I think he was a little bit down.
He had a cold. He had a sinus infection.
Oh, well, that's even worse.
And then she had one too.
Yeah, nobody wants that. So y'all hear about the one nigga that got like 7 kids, 7 baby mamas.
Absolutely.
I'm not taking care of none of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He said, "I told you I didn't want."
What's wrong
I
with him?
ain't nothing. I
Hey,
ain't mad at him because he said, "Bitch, I told you, it's your body, your choice, so it's your baby." So,
Yeah.
I
oh
mean,
man,
I
I
mean,
was like,
morally,
oh,
a person can feel like, man, you a piece of shit.
but
But
really, he
I
ain't.
mean, yeah, but I mean, for a nigga that's that don't care about morally or anything, it's more or less like
I told you.
you let this man skeet up in you raw. You know what I mean? And he done told you that he don't want no kids.
You thought you was gonna
Who's
change. You
responsible?
thought you was gonna change him.
Right? Who's
You thought
responsible? And you want the
your body,
kid.
your choice.
Right, you want the kid, and now you want him to be responsible financially. And he's just like, I told you, I don't want no kids, and I don't care about the motherfuckers. I mean,
Right.
that's basically what he said, and
And he meant that, and every
right,
bit of that.
and his actions has been proven, 7 times. You know what I'm saying? So, so
And not one, not two, not
Right.
three.
but 7.
He kept me
so
going.
I mean, you really can't be mad at him. You really just got to blame women for
You wouldn't have to worry
these are
about it.
choices. When you have certain freedoms and
That
coming with
nigga was
freedoms
raised
come
by a
responsibility.
sucker, bro.
You said what?
So check this out. That nigga's a sucker, but I'm finna play this real quick for the people. Let me know if y'all can hear this. Make sure I hear.
I got 7 kids.
Yep,
And
we got
2
you.
baby mama. Now, for the past few days, I've been going live, telling my story, speaking my truth. And a lot of women having an issue calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times, they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B. But only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied, because I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I do not want. And I don't give a what nobody think about it. You're not going to force children up on me. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't. And I ain't care to pull out because I'm not the one that's going to have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's the woman. In my opinion, women should be more careful on who they sleep with. Because you're going to be like, one of my baby mamas trying to find me so I can financially support a kid I done told her or them I did not want. Another thing is, these just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body, and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them? Like, I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children? Before y'all say, oh, he irresponsible, he a deadbeat, he don't take accountability. Yeah, I do. I just don't give a You ain't gonna force these children on me when I told you I ain't want them. Yeah, I can offer to pay for abortion, but at what point can I force a woman to go get an abortion? I cannot. A woman say, my body, my choice, but I say, it's my life, my choice. Before y'all try to stitch this and be like, black man this, black man that, I don't give a I really don't.
I love
Oh,
it.
well, tell us how you really feel. All right, what
that's
up, Woody in
hilarious.
the building? Holy shit.
That's
Wow.
funny.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't be mad at him. You know what I mean? He's telling the real.
honest.
When you have freedoms, you have responsibilities and choices, and the court system has let women off the hook by letting them be able to put people on, these men on child
Yeah, that
support.
ain't fair.
That said that, hey, I don't want these kids. I don't want no kid. And now there's instances where there might be a marriage or something like that, or
That's
someone might
different.
get breed.
I consider those to be different when
Right.
it's a marriage or
But
something
there
like
are
that.
a lot of women out here. There are a lot of single moms out here that were jump offs and
Or I would say relationship, or
Mm.
like if you're in a long relationship or you're married to somebody and they happen to, get pregnant or whatever, and then a dude
That's
walk
different.
out on some bullshit, that's some sucker shit,
Right.
Right.
But what he's
If
talking
he
about,
told that's
I'm
oh
kind of, I'm
well.
kind of listening. I mean, and he
I
was
mean I
like,
gotta agree with him. Like you knew what you was getting into, yeah. You knew
perspective
what
is a
you was doing.
motherfucker, man. You know what I'm
Ain't
saying?
it?
Perspective is how that nigga they fucking this retarded nigga, man. Just, but
I
he ain't,
mean,
man.
I see what you're saying, Scooty. I think the thing of it is that here women should be held accountable. I don't think we should be paying for those kids. If women are choosing just to have kids, unprotectedly and irresponsibly, I feel like they should be on the hook, not the taxpayer, not at
So
all.
Ivory says, if the children live in Portland, Oregon, they need to be paying child support because as a taxpayer, I don't want to be paying. Okay.
Now,
That's
I
a
don't
good
want to
thing.
be paying. I mean, that's the first thing I look at when you go to a grocery store
Right, but
and you
it's
see
on it's the woman's responsible to pay.
right, and you see a grocery cart full of groceries, damn well, and she got 3, 4 kids behind her, damn well that you
That's some of
paying
your
for that
money.
shit.
That's some of your money.
Right, that's some of your.
Let me get
Trust me,
them
I
bag of
get
chips, bitch. Let me get this bag of
Right.
chips. You know what I'm saying? He says, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. If you're not ready for child support, keep your dick in your pants. Quit
Hey,
shooting
man.
up the club, nigga.
But but listen, like I told Ray earlier, it's a lot of niggas out here that don't give a damn about no job, and they
Working
don't
under the
care about
table.
that. Yeah, they gonna get paid underneath the table, or they gonna figure it out, but they ain't
Hustle,
paying nobody nothing.
robbery, drugs. Oh, well, hustle, drugs. That's what I mean
Yeah,
when I
they're
say
not gonna pay nobody nothing. They might have. I know somebody that got 15,
stealing.
16 kids.
Mm,
I know
me
somebody.
too.
One of my good friends I grew up with had like 26 kids, and that's no
And and,
cap.
and, and actually that 15, 16 is probably more like 20, 25 because he was moving around.
Yeah, well, my partner, he passed away about 6, 7 years ago, but he has same age as me, and he had like 26, and some say upwards of 28, damn near 30, straight
And
like
most of
that.
these women know, that he got kids, all kind of kids everywhere else, and they still laying with him. They still
No,
sleeping with him.
he said that these women were nothing like dating. These are jump offs. You
I
know what
mean,
I'm
if you
saying?
got 30 of them, they have to be. You
Oh,
know what I
you
mean?
talking about? Oh, you talking about in that situation? No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about. I'm talking about this guy. Are
Oh
you talking
yeah,
about my
yeah.
partner? Oh, my partner. Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
your partner, my partner. I know, like we said, we both know people that got kids that's like that or whatever. And these women know, you know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, well, he got 2 kids over here, or he got 4 over here, whatever he got over here. If he
Right.
ain't taking care of them, what makes you think he gonna take care of yours?
Because I'm special.
He has a track record. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
mean, and it doesn't look good.
I'm
right.
special.
You better believe him when he say, man, he don't want no kids.
Period.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's fair. Hey, did you hear about any news on Colin Kaepernick?
I haven't.
So apparently, Colin Kaepernick calls out his adoptive parents. He says they were racist. It's in his book. He did this book or whatever, and he's talking about his experience and him growing up, and his, with adopted parents, with white parents and all that. And so there was, he was trying to. I guess from what I get is the stories about him trying to be in touch with his blackness, him adopted white parents, and so he wanted to get French braids, right, cornrows. And his mom told him, "You want to get what? No, you're not getting that. That's not professional. You know what I mean? You're gonna be running around here looking like a thug."
Which is true.
Right. Check it. So this is what it is, and it makes me think about Chris Rock and the Meghan Markle thing, because black people, my grandmother included, my mom's mom, she didn't like none of that shit. Us out there looking with braids and shit like that, looking like she wouldn't accept none of that. And have told us, you need to get your hair cut, fix that shit. You ain't not a near nigga in church out there with them braids in their goddamn head looking like that, man.
Right.
Now it's stylish, but I mean, it just depends. My grandmother, they were conservative people in the way they moved. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that wasn't, you know what I'm saying? My mom, you mean my mom? She was more on the hood shit. So when I was growing up and I was little, I had braids and stuff like that. You know, but I remember my baby mom when I had my braids and shit, and I was Jamari wanted to grow it. She wasn't going for none of that. No.
Imagery is everything. Perception is
Right.
everything. And if you want to be in a corporate setting, in the corporate world, I mean, there's certain looks that you have to have if you're trying to get ahead. And those are one of those looks like, you're not going to be perceived. You're going to be looked at differently, by everyone around you. So
Right.
why do you want to stick out that way?
Right.
Let your work and your mind speak out versus the way that you want to wear your hair today.
Right. See, and Geneva says she didn't even allow it, so it's like that. How is that? It's like it's just funny to me. Like, so because this white lady told you that, she's racist for telling you that.
I mean, he's trying to make money, man, selling the book, man. And he's throwing the people that took care of him and that raised him because his own parents didn't want to. He's throwing them under the bus. He's throwing them under the bus.
And that's so ridiculous to me because it's like I watched this video. This dude was talking about Colin Kaepernick, and he was like, "Here's Colin Kaepernick." He's like this scumbag. You know what I'm saying? He says because he explains kind of what we're talking about. He was just like, he's like, the next time he said, this is a message out there for you white people to find a fucking black kid in the garbage can to leave him there.
Leave that ass there. Oh, did you see? I don't know what. Did I see something with you or I don't know if I was watching something or whatever, but there was this this white man and he was going on. He's a podcaster and he like gives back. He was saying like he gives back to the black community. Did you? So you seen the same thing?
And he said he wasn't finna. He said it's no. He said he doesn't. He gets called a racist even when he puts in. He's been his whole life, for most of his life, he's been trying to help black people or giving or to those type of things. And he said it doesn't do anything for you. He said at the end of the day, I'm still called a racist.
Right. He was like, you know what? If I was you white people, I would not give them no more money. And I would let them deal with their own problems and deal with their own situations and stay the fuck up out of that. And what he's saying is absolutely true. And it's just like, I don't know why, black people think that they can just call white people whatever they want to call them and then have a handout.
Right. I was watching Whitlock and he was talking about that, or speaking to that. He was talking about how it's just the flip now. You know what I mean? It's like when you think about what's happening with the black violence or whatever towards Asians or whatever, or what we're talking about when people, it's like the shit that we might say to each other or whatever, or in, amongst ourselves or whatever, or, if we said that stuff around, or if white people said that stuff in reverse, how would we react to that? And so selective outrage, Geneva, with Colin Kaepernick, that's absolutely right. That's a good catch right there. I can dig it. It's definitely selective. At least it looks like that. It looks that way. And then Ivory says, I'm going to buy me a unit like LeBron so I can have waves again. It's sick and silly.
Hey, man, tell him to come, man. You can come down to my woman's shop, man. I'm sure she can hook you up.
Oh, shit. How did what? Hey, man, listen. Shit, that's crazy. Man, I ain't had a haircut in probably like maybe 15 years or something like that.
You said, man, I got one for the first time in a long time, man, for the wedding. Other than that, I do my own stuff, man.
I do, but
I ain't doing nothing but doing bald anyway.
So Corey, he took me to Geneva's one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, Cuddy, you should get your hair cut. He telling me, he said, man, and so I let his partner cut my hair, and I got one of them finicky kind of hairlines, right? So it's like, man, couldn't nobody ever cut my shit like Kenny Warren, you know what I mean? So it's like he always knew how to hit it, bam, bam, and my shit, it's light right there. So, but he know the line, though. He know the line. This nigga didn't know the line, and he pushed it up. He pushed it back. It's like, so if I had my profile like this, you know, the shit was super fresh, nigga. I felt like a new man, and I turned it over like this, and it was just, and I, you know, I went home. I had a cat in the car, put the hat on. I was like, nah, that ain't gonna work. I went straight to my apartment, nigga, and I cut all that shit off. Fuck out.
You pushed the wig cap back.
He pushed it back. Like, I mean, it was like, cause it's like this little light spot. You know, back when we was getting them high top fades and shit, and then get the little parts right there. So that area where you get the parts at, be kind of thin and light right there, right? You know what I mean? So but the line is right there though. If you know, Kenny would cut my hair since I was a youth, so he always knew my shit. And when this nigga moved to New York, nigga, it fucked everything off, bro, because I couldn't find nobody that could hit that right at all.
Man, Angel, man, rest her soul. Man, it was probably like maybe like 20 years back. I think it was like maybe like Thanksgiving. It was one of them days where when no barbers working or anything, everybody was off. Angel was at the shop. I had Angel cut my hair for the first time, man. She had my hairline, man, in the middle of my head, man. I was hey, look, I was so hot at Angel. I was like looking at her. I had like got up. I was just like, I looked at her, and then I was just like, man, what the fuck is this? And she was just like, you know, and I'm like, looking at my head. I'm like, man, just cut that shit off, man. Just cut it off.
Hey,
you had me hot. Like,
take this shit out though. So one of the funniest shits though. So I'm over at Kenny's house. It's like a Sunday, right? And over there, he, you know, we talking this shit. He cutting hair or whatever, but it's just me and him. And then Mac and Rob came up. But this is when we was young though. You know, Rob. I'm gonna call him Rob Cole. This is before he was Mac and Rob.
Right.
And so we was over there, and Matt, he came over. And he had like a box, he kind of this little box thing he was growing, right? And so kid, he got over there and just he cut like a whole row off, like, and he was like, no, man, I was trying to put that on. And my partner, Ronnie Washington, who got stabbed in the neck, R.I.P. Kenny kind of did the same thing to him, and so he was like, you can fix that, right? And he was like, man, you can just put some of this hair back in here. You know, fix it. But go figure. Nowadays, that's what niggas do. You know what I'm saying? Just put the hair back.
I told you, man, you can come see my wife, man. She'll go ahead and put one of them things on your head, man. You had a little, had your little waves and stuff going, man.
So Claire, she in the building. What's up, Claire? She made it. I know you've been absent, but we talked about that behind stage. So I appreciate you being here. So we got Scooty said, "What's up, Claire?" Okay, that's them talking to each other. And then he said, "This nigga says, Ray, you had nappy just like the rest of us." No, I didn't. Nah, not at all. Not at all. You better ask somebody about my shit, bro. And I can still grow my shit, nigga. French braid style, nigga. Believe it. I just don't grow it out. It's just too much maintenance, man. You know, I'm trying to stay pretty. Let's see what Claire said right here. She says, been some changes in the schedule around these parts, but happy to be on tonight, even if late. Hey, it don't matter. You here. And what this nigga go? He said, Jermaine got me dying. Shit, man. Nah, but I done had some bad experience. Terrence, that nigga Terrence, woo, he used to experiment on my shit. I remember he fucked my joint off, bro, where I had like my little box thing and I had put a conch in it or whatever, but I was having to fix it up a little bit. Bowl cut all the way, but it had that though. But the back part, you know, where it's the ball fade, he had my shit balled all the way like up to here, bro. It was fucking awful, bro. You know, I don't know if you ever seen it's this little like this TikTok thing or these two boys, right? And these two girls, and they like relatives or something. So they like his little partner is cutting his hair, man, and he had pushed his shit back, right? And the girls was like, he didn't push your shit. And the dude was like, man, come on. He was just like, and the barber, the dude who was cutting the hair, he's like, man, I'll bring you back, bro. And he was like, man, you gonna bring me back, bro? Like, she was like, no, that's fucked up.
So, hey, man, that'll make a nigga want to fight somebody, man, about that shit, bro.
Hey, man, listen, bro, I get it, man, but I'm just glad I got a head that can fit the little old cut, bro, because some of these niggas, this is not gonna work for.
Man, they look like aliens when they cut their hair.
This nigga gonna say I had some nappy. Nigga. What the fuck? Oh man, that's crazy. But anyway, enough about the hair, you know. But yeah, I used to have a lot of it. Colin Kaepernick's tighten up. Ain't nobody feeling you. This nigga even said he still want to play football. He 35. Like,
of course he do. I told you that money done dried up.
He got this book. That's why he doing a book run. He got a Netflix docu-series is coming out on Netflix, so check it out. You know, I ain't gonna hate on him. Y'all might be interested in him. I know that everybody don't agree with what I think. So if you're gonna fuck with him, check him out. He got a book. He's doing a book tour, and he also has the Netflix docu-series. I'm gonna watch it, so I like to stay up on shit, but I'm not, you know, I'm over that nigga though. It's been 7 years, bro. Listen, moving on. This nigga turned into a Black Panther, nigga. What the fuck?
I mean, he was trying. I mean, he act like he was, man, but he wasn't. He wasn't. You know, he was playing with it. You know, you can do that when it's convenient for you. You know what I mean? But when all the praises and all that go away, you know, that's when you find out who's really down for the cause and who ain't. When them cameras ain't on you.
Right.
Because it's real people that's really putting in the work where the cameras ain't on them and they still doing the work.
Right.
I mean,
Man, we go ahead.
No, I'm just saying people do things for fame, man. He's used to fame and he's used to being in the spotlight. So, you know, when that spotlight start to dimming, you know what I mean? That's when you find out people's really true colors and they motives behind things, you know. So
right. Yeah, I just don't even, you know, he disgusts me. But anyway, man, so okay, so the for this story, the showrunner, the show title is about a story of a woman in Colorado who had a relationship with a 13-year-old boy, ended up getting pregnant and having the baby. Now, this woman done this. This is recently in Colorado. She's been sentenced. She's getting no jail time. She will have to register as a sex offender. Now, we're going to talk about this story, but up first, I want to show you a video real quick about this stuff. But and we can really dig into this because I'm sure the panel and everybody out here will have something to say about this. But let's go ahead and let me pull this video and we can get into it. Oh, I think I better put that over here. Get off your freak. I'm gonna bring back that karaoke contest though. We did one on here. I got totally they had to shut my page down for a hot second. They did until we stopped playing the karaoke music, bro. It was crazy. But I got my shit off though. And that nigga Nate, he said he was ready. He practiced his song and everything.
Oh, what?
And then I was like, yeah. I was like, I said I couldn't do it. I said we couldn't go with it the second time because I had got struck down or whatever a couple of times. So it was a trip. It was rough. We would struggle streaming. We still be struggle streaming, but early on, it was some struggle streaming going on for real. Let's see here. Okay. There you go. Okay, here we go. Colorado and share.
A 31-year-old woman who admits to having sex with a 13-year-old boy and then becoming pregnant with his child won't face any jail time under a plea deal with prosecutors.
11 Call for Action investigative reporter Matt Kroschel is joining us live tonight. Matt, 31-year-old Andrea Serrano was facing sexual assault charges, but accepted this new plea deal to stay out of prison.
Adam Serrano gave birth to a baby boy. She admitted to having sex with that 13-year-old. The victim's mother, who we're not going to identify in this story, tells us she is not happy with this deal offered to a woman she says ruined her son's life.
I feel like my son's robbed of his childhood. Now he's having to be a father. He's a victim, and he's gonna have to live with that for the rest of his life.
This mother says watching her son struggle with the reality he now faces breaks her heart.
What has this been like for your son?
It's caused him a lot of depression. He's shut down a lot.
Now she questions why this woman won't face prison time.
I feel like if she was a man and he was a little girl, it would definitely be different. They would be seeking incarceration. And I feel like because she's a woman, they're not. They're having compassion for her because she was pregnant. But I don't think they're taking the play again. She was pregnant by a child. You know, that child was created from sexual abuse.
Under terms of the plea deal the suspect signed off on, she'll be required to register as a sex offender, and the judge could sentence her to 10 years to life of sex offender intensive supervised probation. But Serrano will avoid any jail time since the DA's office dropped the original charges to a lesser charge that does not come with mandatory jail time.
What should other parents be looking for?
Wow.
Don't trust anybody, honestly. I mean, you can't trust anybody now.
The victim's family says they are looking for the next steps in this case, and they'll actually ask the courts to give custody to the 13-year-old of this baby. Adam and Lindsay, what we do know is that Serrano has a hearing coming up in May where she will learn how much probation time she'll have. Currently, Serrano has full custody of the baby. Back to you.
Okay, we'll follow up on that case. Matt, thank you.
So what I'm trying to understand is in most cases, like the DA, so who's offering to say, okay, well, we want her to have less time? Like who's negotiating this deal here?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go
that's what I like. What do you mean? Like, so we dropped the charge to a lesser charge. So who's lobbying for this?
Yeah, I'm like this is fucking crazy. So it's like she says, so Geneva says, it's still a form of sexual assault and no less traumatic, maybe even sometimes more so traumatic. Or no, that was Claire, sorry. Then Geneva says, that's why do sex offenders get plea deals? They need life for the lives they ruin. Ebony says it's a class 4 felony with a range of 2 to 6 years. A class 4 felony? So so what is it when a man does it? I'm just gonna go there. Just like the mother said.
I mean, she was dead on everything. So, I mean, everything that she said, you know, I totally 100% agree with. So I'm wondering, you know, like she said, if it was a man and it was a little girl, you know, naturally he would get jail time. So why is it any different?
Right. And Ebony says that she's like, if it was a guy, they would have never offered him no fucking plea deal.
Absolutely.
And I agree with that 100%. 100%. And he shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm offering no fucking plea deal for that. This is a 13-year-old kid. He can't fucking drive no car. He's just entering into fucking, he ain't even entering the high school. He's in 8th grade. Devin is fucking 12. Nairi is fucking 12. You know what I'm saying?
So one more year older than them. And
man, that ain't shit. My little cousin Carter is what, 13 or 14? He's 14. But I'm just saying he's in the age range. But you know what I'm saying? I could not imagine them having to deal with no shit like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And this woman, she's 31.
And the thing about that is that in most cases, man, that little boy's gonna be, you know, mentally fucked up for life.
Oh yeah, he's not going. I mean, there's no telling what he's going to turn out to be. You know, there's no telling what he's going to turn out to be.
He done been oversexed at an early age, man, and that's gonna play a major key in the way that he lives his life too.
Mm-hmm. Well, his mom gonna really have to. I mean, it's like I don't even know what. I mean,
there ain't nothing. I mean, bro, bro. He done already been exposed.
Well, I know it's going to be a lot of therapy and stuff like that, you know, but it's just, I'm still stuck on the fact that she got not a day in jail. Probably just the day that she was arrested. I mean, maybe is she retarded or something? I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Her retarded ass can be in jail too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, you have to give me something. Why would a DA think that was okay?
that's what I'm saying. Like, who is brokering these deals here? Like, I mean, I know they had a lawyer, and then so did her lawyer say like, well,
Well, I tell
maybe
you
she
what.
should get less time or whatever? Like, who's doing that?
If that had been my son, she would have never had that baby. I'd have stumped a mud hole in that ditch. She wouldn't have had that baby. I promise you, she wouldn't have. I would have kicked her. It would have been involuntary abort. Yeah, I would have dog walked her. I would have tap danced on her stomach. And on
So now is
the boy is just a year older. Devin will be 13 this year in a couple of months, bro.
Right.
You
So
know
what I'm
saying?
telling you,
Like, for
he
real.
ain't even mentally capable to take care of himself, let alone a baby.
So now, would he be financially responsible to take care of this kid?
Sure, he's going to be.
Yeah.
Because they're going to give custody to him, so his life is going to be ruined financially.
His life is ruined. I'm telling you, that baby wouldn't have made it, man.
So now, when you had that person on there that had them saving baby mom and said, "Hey, man, I didn't want none of these kids."
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
So here's the thing. So Ivory goes, let's keep it 100. The reality is that we have a double standard. Women can sleep with a young boy, and society doesn't see it as being as bad as a grown man sleeping with a young girl. That's true.
Absolutely true.
Real rap.
Yeah, but I don't feel that way. I think it's bad either way, boy or girl.
Yeah, and she shouldn't have custody of the child. All rights should be terminated. I agree with that. And it's weird that she even got to keep the baby. It should be like in CSD because of how the baby came. You know, I don't know. I'm just that's just a thought.
It's probably gonna be retarded anyway because he was too young to be making something.
Nah, once this shit start pumping out, that motherfucker is ready. So I think his parents will actually be legally responsible since he's a minor. Yeah, well, the same thing. I mean, it's it's a baby. You know what I'm saying? Usually a kid that age gets the dog. You know what I mean? The fuck you mean this kid's fit? I mean, nigga, I'm a dad. You're a dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like all the stress that a nigga had to go through dealing with that shit.
That nigga in seventh, 8th grade.
Right.
Oh man. And and today's kids is dumber than we was. You know, so they don't have no common sense.
They said so. As I'm curious how this woman knows him since they reduced the charge to incest. So, yeah, I don't know. I want to know more about that. I most certainly want to know more about that shit. But ain't nothing finna happen to her.
I mean, she just got to register as a sex offender.
But it doesn't even. I mean. I'm just talking about 1331. Flip the age, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, flip the number.
R. Kelly in jail right now. For how long? How long he get? Like 20 years?
30. Okay.
So, I mean, and he didn't have no baby by none of them little girls. So I'm just trying to see what's the difference?
There is no difference. I mean, well, like Ivory said though, I mean, and he hit the nail on.
I know the double standard part, but should it really be that on the law?
It absolutely shouldn't. But you have to really. I mean, you don't have to do anything. But I'm saying, like, you look at it like this. Think about it when it just comes to like murder. They get lesser sentence on average than men do.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Or if they're involved with a nigga that's a murderer. And she's running with him and she killing motherfuckers too. He gonna end up getting the time, and she's going. Well, he was right. She was under his influence,
right?
But then they tell you that women are equal in all aspects, right? You know what I'm saying? But she doesn't get to be held accountable the same as this man that she's equal to. The same man that she can do the same jobs that he can do. We all get paid the same money to do the same job. So why don't we get the same time for the same or similar crimes? That's really the thing, you know what I'm saying? And you can't have it both ways. But how society is, it's like, I'm gonna still hold the motherfucking door open for a lady. Bitch, you need to hold the door open for me.
Right. In society, women are never wrong.
It
And
says
that's just what
reports
it
say
is.
she saw him as a mother figure, and in the state of Colorado, anyone who is seen as a parent biologically or otherwise can be charged with incest. So there it is. But I mean, did she have her kid? I mean, I don't even know. It's more to learn about this case, bro. I mean, it's definitely more stuff to learn because you know, I can't wrap my head around that.
I mean, how else is he supposed to see her? I mean, he's 13 and she's 31. I mean, is it a motherly figure or is it more like of a mentor? You know what I mean? Like she was mentoring him.
Whatever it was, it was an abuse of power. She
Right.
was, you know what I'm saying? She's an authority figure, you know what I mean? The guardianship or whatever, old enough to be his mother type shit. You know what I mean? Young mother, but still the same.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I will open the door for you, Claire. But I'm just saying, though, it's just work with me here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm a gentleman, of course, but I'm just saying, though, it's like when we start having that conversation and shit like that, and we start talking about how this shit equals out. You know, I don't even want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this whole, you know, it's like this whole battle between men and women and all this type of shit. And this is kind of what's always going on, and the type of shit that I hear all the time and read about. You know, and it's like, I get it. Women should always be equal. They shouldn't be barred from anything that a man gets. I get all of that. But at the same motherfucking time, you're gonna get that time, or you should get that fucking time. You know, and then we can even take it to the nigga with the 7 babies by the 7 different women. And him saying that, yeah, I did XYZ though, but he's right. We don't got no control over that. Your body, your choice. I agree with that. Just like Chris Rock said, right?
Yeah.
It's all up to you. So it's like, and what Ivory was saying, I feel you, my brother, but check this out though. If all things are equal and it's like that, then if that's the choice, if they have that choice and they have to bear the financial responsibility in those type of situations, I'll stand on that. But that ain't how it is. But that's how, I mean, I see that and I agree with that. Some of those laws need to be fucking changed.
I mean, you know,
it's not a traditional. This is not what it used to be. This is a new day, and so we have to handle it like that.
Right.
Period. You know what I mean? It might not sound good. Nobody wants to hear it. That's that cringy shit. That's the shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like it is what it is. Though, if we gonna keep this shit a buck, come on.
I mean, they only want it to be fair when it's beneficial. You know what I mean? When it's not beneficial, when they get the same time or the same repercussions, then all of a sudden, oh, it's not fair, or you know you're stronger than me, or you know what I mean? Like those things come out then. But other than that,
think about it. Chris Rock called Jada a bitch, and everybody is up in arms about that shit. What do you mean?
Right.
You know, like I said earlier, rap music, movies, we see this shit all the motherfucking times, but it's a big deal because this nigga said to her, who the fuck is she? I mean, men get dogged, and it's not a big deal, you know. But we don't trip on that type shit, right? I'm not tripping. Whatever. But why is it a problem? Why you tripping though?
Right. But what do you call a mother that is sleeping with her son's friend?
Oh, hold on. There's some comments here. You see, that's what you're talking about. Hold on. Let's see. Claire, it says she told the police that the kid saw her as okay. She said that, and then she said the fact that she can say that and understand just shows that she's deranged. Okay.
I mean, her lawyer probably advised her and try to figure out ways of where she can get her charges lessened, not get no jail time.
Kyrie said she was mentoring his ass, all right.
Oh yeah, he was good mentor. That's why I said, man, he got over sex, man, by that 31-year-old, man. It's gonna be curtains for him for here on out.
Shit. This is fucking awful, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, this nigga, like, I am a father. I'm 13. I'm a dad. That just sounds crazy to me, man. Crazy.
13.
You know, But yeah, that's these motherfuckers. They let this bitch. They let her do it. They let her get away with it. America react. What do y'all think about that shit? I mean, I see we got a lot of comments over here, but yeah, I can't get over that, bro. I can't get over that. Anyway, didn't want to bring us down, but you know, I always have those. I find the stories, but this was pretty huge. I think this is a big story, and I think that you know it's something that I had to talk about because it's just like this is glaring, and like Ivory said, yeah, there are double standards, and this is on both sides of the coin. And I'm not, you know, naive to sit here and think that and this is not an anti-woman thing, but this here is a glaring example of double standards. And if we want to have that conversation and talk about it, okay, let's talk about it because this right here, you can't fucking never explain this to me, man, and expect me to understand it.
But I've heard a lot of dudes that say that when they was little, they had babysitters that was older than them, that wasn't grown, that was touching on them when they was little kids, and that was just supposed to be okay. And they were truly bothered by that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So why is it okay for it to happen to little boys, but it's not okay for it to happen to little girls? When you touch one of my little boys, I'm gonna touch you.
I mean, I remember being like 14 years old and running into like a 25-year-old, you know what I'm saying? And she was married and stuff like that or whatever. I remember
she is predator.
It was like me, D-Ray, and like Scott. We was over at the store on 9th and Alberta. And man, they had like pulled up, you know what I'm saying? And they lived out in Vancouver. And I mean, you know, I remember them days, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, and that was way out of bounds for even, you know what I mean? And it wasn't like we was pretending to be older and none of that. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have no car and they had a car and you know what I mean? So,
yeah, Geneva says she can't get over it. I can't either. And she says disturbing. And Clara says, how did those lawyers, the DA and the judge even go to sleep knowing that they set that kid up for failure?
They didn't give a fuck about him apparently.
Oh, they didn't. They must not. I mean, like
his mama was a sucker.
No, his mama fought. His mama was just like, I don't
physically fight though.
Yeah, his mama was like, I don't understand none of this.
She would have got. I'm saying I would have put hands on that lady. I would have just had to gladly go do my time.
Yeah. So what happens if she, you know, if the mom ends up blowing her fucking brains out? Oh, I didn't say. Okay. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like you remember the little kid, the little boy. This was years ago. It was when they walked that man through the airport, and then the dad was on the phone, and as soon as the police was extraditing him back. And he was walking through. He got the phone, ran right. He was in the handcuffs. The police was. He got the phone and pop, dropped him.
Right.
And the dude was his karate teacher, mentor, and took him out of town and shit like that. And kind of basically kidnapped the kid and was fucking him. His student. And his dad blew his fucking brains out.
As he should have.
He got out of. He didn't get no time.
So was this his teacher or was she bent? I mean, what was she doing? Like,
I don't know what.
Probably the mama's friend. I think it was. And now she done found out about something and now she mad. I think it was one of her little punk ass friends that you wasn't paying attention, letting be around your kid. God damn.
Oops, excuse me, y'all.
But you know what I'm saying? That's the shit that be happening.
Man. Dirty motherfucker. Anyway, but this is low down. That's super low down. Anyway, I want to move right along because there's nothing I can do about this, and there's nothing that we can do about it, but we can talk about it. So I guess there is something we can do about it. I don't want to give up on the kid. I hope that all we can do is pray for him, you know, because it's gonna be tough. Lord knows that this is. I'm 51, and just remembering my son growing up is difficult being a father, and I'm sure you can agree to that. You know, and the shit that he's gonna have to deal with.
At 13,
so bad. So, y'all niggas been hearing about John Morant?
Absolutely.
Do you know who that is, man?
The little basketball player.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, they call him John Warrant now.
Oh, that's what they
They got a
said, John.
nigga. They got a nigga. They got him John Warren.
Cheddar Bob, they calling him all kind of stuff now, man.
That nigga crazy. They put the Eminem diss track on him and shit.
I seen that.
I was like, these niggas
I
is
mean, but he's an
going
idiot.
in. He's got 200 million,
He's an idiot.
and so John Morant.
I would have
It's
turned
all
into a Steve Urkel. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, like he basically so he had a whole bunch of shit happen with him, and then I just heard a new one when I got off work. I was like,
Oh
God,
yeah, he was brandishing a
could've
gun
been-
on the webs.
yeah,
Like, he had a
no,
gun.
it's more than that. I'm saying, yeah, that's basically what set everything off. But he was getting sued by this young 17-year-old boy he got into a fight with at his house that was playing basketball pickup game, and they got into it or whatever, and the boy threw the ball, hit him in the face or whatever. And then he's like, should I do it to him or whatever? And then his partner said, yeah. And then he bopped him in his partner, and then they started beating him down and stomped him. And then they said Morant came back out, went in the house, came back out, had a gun on his waist. Because the little kid was like, I'm gonna light this motherfucker up, after they stomped him out. And he's like, I'm gonna kill you niggas. So the nigga pulls the gun or whatever, and his dad like, go back in the house. So that happens. Mom's at the shoe store.
Yep.
Gets into it with the motherfucking people at the end. She calls Ja. He comes up there with 9 niggas. They push the security all in his head and say, I'm gonna find out when you get off work and all that shit. Another situation happened. His little sister is at a volleyball game. This is the one I just heard. This is the new one. They at the volleyball game, little sister and the little chick or whatever get into a verbal altercation, call each other bitches or whatever, and them niggas pressed up on them, and it got wild in the damn volleyball game. Nobody got hurt, no charges or nothing like that. So that shit's coming out now too. And then, of course, what Don said, he was on Instagram showing the blicky. This is what This is a $200 million motherfucker.
Yeah, man. He just got suspended for more games and stuff like that.
He got suspended for having the gun on the Instagram.
Not just that, but they like I said, they finding out more and more stuff behind.
They ain't let him back. He got suspended for 2 games. Them 2 games has already came and went.
They got him 4 more games right now.
No, he's indefinite. He not coming. They don't even know if he's gonna be back for the rest of this season for the last 20 games or so.
Yeah, he messing his life up, and everybody's blaming his father, but it's like his father done got him to this point. The problem of it is that, man, he's a young kid.
He got that money,
and he like, Dad, nigga, fuck you, nigga. I'm paying for the house. I'm paying for everything. So he feels entitled to do whatever the fuck he want to do, and that's what he doing right now.
Well, like I said before, the nigga them niggas that he hanging with is gonna be the niggas that's gonna do something to him.
Absolutely. As soon as he cut them off, their money line is gonna get cut off, and then there you go.
Yep. Yeah. Claire, you said young, hard-headed, and dumb. That's easy. That's light. This nigga's a fool. He got 200 million, and because he's missing this game, it fucks with his incentives. And people are estimating that this guy is losing like 39 million, based off of incentives. He was in the running for the MVP. He ain't getting
that will avoid his contract. They will not have to pay him if he's going to miss the rest of the season because of that.
No, he's not getting charged. I'm saying remember what happened with the Gilbert Arenas when they did that, and they made a motherfucking example out of him. Now you have a different commissioner because David Stern didn't play that shit,
right?
Because the nigga was after the incident, he was making gun things, and John Moran did the same thing after that. Because remember, I forgot Indiana, they pointed the laser. Nigga said it was a fucking gun. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, but they kind of piped it down. They didn't let it get out there. It was a laser pointer, and he pointed to that. And the motherfuckers pointed the whistle. Nigga, who the fuck? You know better than that. Nigga, like these motherfuckers, like this is like 4 incidents that I just cited. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Yeah, somebody needs to sit him down for a minute. Sometimes you gotta lose something to gain something.
Money and ignorance or a bad combination. Yeah, absolutely.
He never got into any trouble before he got into the NBA. So it's just
No,
like
he was a square, bro. He had a
Right.
short haircut and all that, bro.
I mean, it's that fame, man. Fame is a drug, and some people
Yeah.
just don't know how to handle it.
He acting like he want to be a drill rapper or something. And for real, that's a behavior, drill rapper behavior, nigga. That's what's going on with this dude, man. But yeah, John Morant, though, man. This is and this is an example of he got two parents, like you said, that raised him up good and everything, and this nigga done lost his mind. But somewhere, somehow, I think that for his mom to call him to come up there when you know that your son is an NBA basketball, why you ain't calling your husband, bitch?
Right.
Fuck is you doing? You gonna call your fucking son, who's an NBA star? He ain't just a basketball player in the NBA. This nigga's a star. You gonna call him to come fight your battles? And this nigga on that pussy punch, you send your goons down there or something if it's that serious. You know what I mean? Like, wait in the car, nigga. What you gonna do?
But he's showing up and showing out.
Now, listen, I'm of course, if he finds out, he gonna do that. But what I'm saying is why would you call him to come up there for that?
Because she a messy bitch anyway.
That's messy as fuck. Thank you. You know, I mean, because if you're a parent, you ain't gonna let your kid go do no shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you an adult, like what? So it makes me speak to her maturity levels. What you was on some loudmouth talking shit, bitch, and somebody checked your motherfucking ass, and now you want to call your son to come whoop their ass because your feelings is hurt. Fuck out of here.
And she knows she would have called her. She knows she would have called her husband.
Like
her husband probably would have told her, "Get your ass on."
Yeah, right now. Spending Josh's money. Man, fuck out of here, man. Like she's stupid for that. Why you put your son at risk though? Because say he come up there, say the security guard had a pistol.
Right.
That's not outside of the outside of possibility. And then the one nigga pushed the security in the head, say he comes out, pop, pop, pop. Oh, they killed him. He's a victim now. Fuck out of here, man. Choices, bro. It's all about fucking choices. Make the right one. And this is easy work. This is easy work, and you still doing this dumb shit. I mean, you ain't even from that though. He throwing up. I don't know if he a Crip. What he doing, bro? He throwing up gang signs and shit on the video. Got his shirt off with niggas around him and shit with a pistol. Nigga, what the fuck, bro? This nigga's weird, bro. He's a weirdo. He said, bro, these young women do that now. It says they go get their children to handle shit. Yeah. That's that stupid
I ain't
shit.
doing that. That's gonna get your cat peeled back.
Man, or your kids cat peeled back, and then you gonna be, oh,
That's
my
what I'm talking about. Just like Devin, he wanted to be involved that bad, so bad that day we was at Denny's. He wanted to be involved so bad. I was like, you be quiet and stand back. We got this. We don't need you. We don't need your little strength. Trust me. We cut from different cloths. But it all boils down to that cloth situation. Mm-hmm. Most of the cloths that these people claim they cut from, that shit up in the Dollar Tree right now. They're selling that shit in abundance.
He said that shit's at the Dollar Tree, my nigga.
You know what I'm saying? Just like on some real shit. Like,
yeah.
I just don't understand. I mean, and then like, I'm sorry, I just got a little irritated, but I gotta get this off my chest. Sidebar, nigga. So, if you come into the hospital to get treatment, clearly you're not a fucking doctor, nurse, or any of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
They're ordering shit. We coming to get it to treat your motherfucking ass. I don't care what country you from. Don't be like, well, what is it for? Hey man, I ain't got time for this. There's people out here to need some help. If you know what I'm saying, if you don't want the help, that's fine. I'm gone though. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk to your nurse because I'm about to go. Clearly,
what is this for? When I question you, they said you to go help this motherfucker. Hey, like, man, listen,
are you
bro.
kidding? I mean, and it's always, I'm gonna just say our people of color.
Of color? That's what we doing now.
We're just gonna use that.
IPOC? Was it IPOC?
We're just gonna leave that broad
indigenous
array.
Person of color. You know that's a thing, right?
I I don't pay attention to any of that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, whatever that is, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just it never fails. It never fails. You know what I'm saying? But they do have paperwork that you can sign and clearly check yourself out, and you don't have so we're not held responsible for anything if you walk out down the street and die on the curb. That's not our problem. You want to question everything. You don't want certain things to happen. You know what I'm saying? Don't come here.
Yeah. I mean, you come here asking for help. I mean, we trying to help you, and hey, help yourself.
I mean, I'm just saying but that's just like So, you know, it's just like with the woman calling her son, like, I'm not going to call Devin for nothing because Devin is a square.
Like I said,
I'm the one with the street knowledge and the street stuff, not my son.
Yeah, she didn't want to call her husband. Like I said, her husband would have said,
Get your funky ass out of there.
Get your ass home.
Problems. You know what I'm saying?
She didn't want to hear that.
Or she probably was like, you don't even know who I am or who my son is. My son. Like, you know what?
I already knew. I just didn't say it, but thank you for saying it though, because
I was already thinking it when y'all wasn't saying. I'm going hard on them too because I don't agree with all the things that women do. You know what I'm saying? Just because we women don't mean that we can get away with certain stuff, and like, no, I'm not gonna condone any of that. Just because you're a woman don't mean you get to do certain stuff. Bitch, kill yourself, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't work like that. You're making the rest of us that don't do that shit look bad. Like, for real, like, you don't got time for that shit, man. Like, seriously. That's weak stuff.
Women really shouldn't be arguing with no man anyway. You know what I mean?
There
like,
it is.
It just I just don't feel like in no kind of circumstance where a woman should really be arguing with no man. Because at that point, especially, men know with dealing with other men, it can get physical real quick.
Yes, you know, violence is always an option when men are around men.
You know, so at that point, I think women are just so used to just talking to people in your kind of way, and it's just like every man ain't going for that. And you gonna say something to the wrong one, and he gonna park you. You know what I mean? So you got to be real careful with just who you talk to. I mean, and if that's the case, leave the situation and deal with it differently. But don't never be in a situation.
Or have the common sense to know what you're dealing with.
Absolutely.
Dealing with.
You know, because absolutely. But
for me, like, I pops off at the mouth, but I pick and choose how I do it, and it has to be like, I'm not just gonna pop off at the mouth just because. Oh, I know. I call my cousin. He got a gun license. I call my cousin. He gonna come and have my back. No, it don't work like that. Like, if you saying something to me and I feel like you being real disrespectful, then I'm gonna say something to cut you real tough. And if you want to keep it going, then I can make a phone call, bro. What's that? That's my next move. You know what I mean? But I'm not getting ready to go out of my way to argue with a dude.
To prove a point.
I'm gonna call him a couple.
It's not worth it.
Call him a couple bitches and walk on about my business. You know,
it's not worth it.
You know, it's not. But there's those ones that'll go out of their way to try to argue with you. Oh, I got something for you. Let me make a phone call.
Yeah, because a lot of cases, you know, by the time you thinking about calling somebody or doing something, he done already went upside your head. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? It just be a slippery
slope. I like to choose violence first anyway. So
right.
Man, so there was a story that happened back on Valentine's Day, and it was this lady who was killed in front of her newborn baby and her 2-year-old. She was arguing with a white lady and a black lady. They were arguing at the grocery store or whatever. So the white lady turns to go back to her car, whatever it was, and then the black girl shot her in the back. Killed her. Shit crazy.
But for what though? Like,
yeah, they just had, I don't know what the argument was about, but shit was cold though. I was just like, damn, shot her in the back though. She was 26-year-old kid, you know, the girl who got killed, you know.
You seeing nowadays that it's a lot of women out there, man, that's catching cases, that's killing people, that's getting, you know, super violent on each other. it's not just the men now. You know, it's women that's really out there doing a lot of stuff
Because
too.
they
So,
can't take a good ass. They can't take that ass whooping.
well, I mean, nobody can. Nobody ever could. You know, for the longest. You know what I
Right.
mean? So you know, it's all. So it's just. In most cases, your best defense is just to walk away. You know what I
Right, right.
mean? That's your best defense is to walk away. You know what I mean? And then, if somebody is pressing you to where you have to make a decision, and you know what I mean, and they threaten you in that manner, then you know you do something. But I mean, most of the time, because ultimately you're gonna end up getting in trouble or having to fight something and then go through all these trials and tribulations behind somebody. It's just not worth it.
That's what
No,
Irie
it ain't
said.
worth it.
Don know she could get reckless with the mouth because she could call her boy cousin. Stop capping.
That's different though.
Oh shit,
That's
that's funny.
that's different. I can
Yeah,
talk
no,
all
that's
shit in the
different.
world.
It ain't like she calling Devin, you know. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't call your kid if you are really in some trouble, but if you out there acting the ass, you know, you like, why would you do that? If it,
I mean,
But even still, like,
if you at the shoe
no, but
store, if you at the Foot Locker arguing about, what are you arguing about at the shoe store for one?
right.
Like,
But
what is
then you
that
also got to
serious?
think though, on to respond to Ivory's little bullshit. I done been in plenty of altercations and situations where I ain't never called my boy cousin to come do a motherfucking thing because I handles my own. I stand on that. Nickel.
oh shit.
So yeah, I love you, Ivory, but no, for real, I ain't never been the one to have to call Ray Ray and all them to come handle my battles. I don't know. I'm more than happy and more than capable of handling my own battles. I'll always stay ready. Forgot who you
All
talked
right.
about.
She said, let it be known.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm. That's why she shot her. Look at her hair.
Grocery store parking lot an altercation with a stranger on down
The fuck?
Andrea Boyd was loading groceries into her car at the Kroger in Irmo, South Carolina, when she got into an argument with a woman she didn't know, according to Fox 57 Columbia. After the argument was over, the stranger, later identified by Irmo police as 23-year-old Christina Harrison, allegedly pulled out a gun and shot Boyd in the back. The couple's children, a 2-year-old and an infant, were in the car when she was shot. The Irmo Police Department said the incident took place around 4 p.m. on Tuesday. Officers arrived to the scene shortly after and pronounced Boris dead. After talking with witnesses and viewing surveillance footage, Irmo police said investigators learned the two women did not know each other and were involved in a verbal altercation before the shooting. It's unclear what led up to the argument or what the two women were arguing about. Harrison initially fled from the parking lot, but called to turn herself in around 5:30. Later that day, she was booked into the Lexington County Detention Center Tuesday night. Jail records show Harrison is charged with murder, unlawfully carrying a pistol, and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. The New York Post reported Harrison was scheduled to appear in court on Wednesday, but her private attorney waived the hearing. Tyler said his wife's death comes just only 6 days after her younger brother, Brandon, died from a gunshot wound. He told local news outlets that Alexandria, who worked as a cosmetologist and was enrolled in nursing school, was the best wife you could ever ask for there. So sad news there out.
And they need to make an example out of her funky ass. She was just mad because the girl looked better than her. You see that?
I mean, it was
That's
probably a
typical.
parking spot argument.
No, that's just that mentality that a lot of these black girls got. To like, oh fuck the white bitch this and the white bitch that because you mad because your dude probably left you for one,
Right.
and so she's
So hold on.
getting the backdraft because of something that happened to
Ivory,
you.
hold on, man. This nigga.
I'm just saying.
No, Ivory said, "Damn, that woman probably said something about her."
Probably did. Look at her. She over there. She like a dirty Q-tip. I mean,
So that bitch look like Flavor Flav.
I'm just saying, but this is that mentality, like, oh, cause she a white girl, and her dude or girlfriend or
I
whatever it
mean, look
might have
at this.
had.
I mean, it's all bad, but just whoop her ass if it's like that. But you shot the bitch in the back because you were scared to fight her, apparently, or something, or she didn't back down. You wasn't expecting that, so you pull your
Clearly.
pistol out because your feelings was hurt. See, that's what probably happened. You know what I'm saying? I think that
I
makes
just
sense
think
to
that
you.
she just thought she was gonna get away with it, and
No,
no,
I didn't know. No, women don't think like that. They act off emotions,
well,
and that was an
not all of them,
emotional. That
but
most of them do. Most of them
that was
do.
some.
That's a fact. And that's what happened. She shot her in the fucking back. She was walking away. That's an emotional reaction. She wasn't threatening her or nothing.
Like, bitch, you ain't finna walk away from me. I ain't done with you yet.
Right. And then she went and turned herself in an hour later. Come on, man. She had a lawyer, so she got some fucking sense. She had an emotional fucking outburst, like a lot of these women do when they get in these fucking situations. Kill a nigga because he left a bitch. I seen the one the bitch shot the nigga up because he broke up with her. You know what I'm saying? Like she's like, what the fuck? We see guys do it too, though. I ain't, it goes both
Absolutely.
ways. But we know in most cases like this shit, that's some emotional shit. You mad about something, bitch? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like she was walking away. You shot her in the back. I mean, you look at the picture of the bitch. She don't even look like fighter. You know what I mean? Or
Like I
walk
said, there's
away.
probably arguing over a parking spot, or somebody that probably parked too close to the other car, so the other car couldn't get out. Or, I mean, she had her kids in the car. So, how much, you know what I mean? Like,
She wasn't looking for no smoke when she got her babies.
right.
It says, well, she has that give me your cookie penitentiary look already. You see?
She going where she belongs. She going where she belongs.
Yeah.
She gonna be there for a long time too.
It's like when you watch these shows, right? I'll be watching a lot of these shows when they be having debates and it's women on there, especially when it comes to black people, and all that shit, and they get loud and want to talk over motherfuckers and get the last word and be emotional, go talk about everything, but they deflect or insults, and shit like that because you talk, but you stay on the line, but they go there. You know what I'm saying? On some emotional shit.
Right.
Give a bitch a gun like that. To blow your motherfucking brains out over that type of shit right then and there. And then cry about it and be sorry about it after this done.
And that's why I said, man, it's just better off, man, with how today's world is. When you like getting into it with somebody, you just got to really just pay attention, man, to your surroundings and what's going on, man, because people are crazy and you just never know. And ain't no reason to be, and I'm not finna be going back and forth with nobody because I understand the level of threat that anybody can pose. I don't take nobody lightly. I think that everybody, could be a potential threat. So
and everybody and they didn't stop making guns because I got one.
Right.
So, I mean?
Yeah, so you just be aware of that, man, and just try to live your life. Just if you can, just let the shit just go or whatever bitch you want. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever kind of argument you think you're trying to have with me, whatever. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, unless you willing to put your life on the line and risk your freedom over shooting somebody, beating somebody up, and the police getting called or whatever else. Like unless your life is really in danger, just you just gotta leave shit alone nowadays.
She was overwhelmed with emotion because it was that serious for her.
Right.
That's what happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
shot the bitch in the back.
Right.
It was that serious for her at that moment to shoot a motherfucker in the back. Whatever it was. I mean, did the bitch beat you up? I mean, what? I mean, you shot her in the back though.
She looked like somebody that belonged in jail.
She looked like she could whoop that girl's ass.
I hate to stereotype people like that, but she looked like an inmate. You know what I'm saying? Like she straight looked like one.
Yeah, she do look like an inmate. There she is.
She looked like she belonged, right? Look at that hair. Look at that. What is that?
That's the Mr. T.
Yeah, man. She looked like she belonged in there.
Luigi.
That's one of the bold haircuts, man.
Yeah, and that little chick don't look like she could do anything with her. Not to me. No. I mean, but looks could be deceiving, of course. I mean, and that's definitely a fact. But If I'm
Little
looking
black
at
girl, get away from me.
she looked like she
Little
could
black girl, get
wrestle.
away from me. I got
She
things to
looked
do.
she looked like she could wrestle. She could wrestle, nigga. She looked like she could fight. And she had a gun. So but she decided to use the gun. So I feel like there had to be some level of fear because the white lady probably didn't give a fuck, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, fuck what you talking about. He walked off.
Yeah, I'm going home.
And like Don said, don't you turn away from me. Bow!
Right. That's what I'm telling you. That's what happened. Don't turn away from me.
Listen, look at me when I'm talking to you.
Right. That's what happened. I'm telling you, that's exactly what happened.
God damn, man. Let me get this off the screen because that's disturbing me right now. I'll stop that. There you go. Yeah, man. I don't know what's wrong with her, man. So Portland is getting ready to. They are looking to reverse course. Retail thefts could result in more jail time under the new bill that they proposing.
Man, I seen that. I love that. I love that you sent that clip. I'm really finna go into it, really dissect it, and make some phone calls Monday morning, Tuesday morning. I love what Clackamas County is doing out there. You know, man, I loved every bit of what I heard on that, man. So thank you so much, man, for sending that my way, man. Because I look at it as, you know, everything could be a potential business opportunity. And I'm looking at what they're doing out there, man, and I'm like,
help businesses get back in here and shit.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when it comes to politics, I kind of try to stay away from that. I don't like to really get involved in that. But what they have going on out there and the way that they're treating crime and they're treating criminals that break into stuff and theft and all that stuff, and I'm all the way for it, man. So I know they're gonna have some mandations going on. And they can get mandated to come to Mind Solutions. So almost definitely.
That's where you're going with this. Okay.
Absolutely.
This is about the dollar.
Oh, I mean, it's not just that. I mean, naturally, it's about public safety and all those other things. But we have some programming for these inmates or for these people that want to choose to commit these crimes, man. So they're gonna have to do some jail time. They're gonna have to do some kind of programming. And absolutely. So I most definitely will stand behind this 100%.
Catch them as they fall, man.
100%.
All right.
Like I said, I'm going to dissect this.
Now on a series of
Everybody in
retail
here.
theft stings underway by local law enforcement as they try and stop that growing problem. It has even caused some businesses to close their doors. Lisa Balick joining us with what Oregon lawmakers are trying to do now to crack down. Lisa?
Yeah, as we've been showing people, it's really shocking when you see these videos where you have the thieves run in, they grab merchandise worth thousands of dollars, they run out, store employees told by their employers, don't do anything for your own safety, instead call police. Well, now state lawmakers say it's time to do something. They are fed up with what we have been seeing in our area. They are moving on bills that law enforcement, as well as district attorneys, say will have an impact on this rampant crime, focusing on organized retail theft rings, multiple people involved stealing over and over again, often reselling the stolen property online. There was a hearing today on Senate Bill 340. Many people, from store owners to law enforcement, testifying in support to increase time behind bars for criminals involved in organized theft, stealing that merchandise. But it's just one piece of the solution, say supporters of the legislation.
We need to have law enforcement who's able to respond. We need prosecutors who are willing to prosecute. And we need courts that are able to convict, and we need jails and prisons that are able to incarcerate. And all of those things need to be present. And sadly, they're not all present everywhere in Oregon. That's part of the reason we've seen such a breakdown in public safety in Portland.
There is also a second bill that pulls $5 million in tax money into a fund that cities, counties, and the state can use to help pay for law officers who are normally on overtime to run those sting missions that we've been bringing you more frequently. Now, the next step is for the bill to have a vote in that Senate Judiciary Committee before it moves to the floor for a big vote. If you care about this, are concerned, definitely get a hold of your state lawmaker. Tell them how you feel.
So you have another video that you had sent. It was about Clackamas County, and it was about crime and things like that as well. And
Hold on, let me take a look and see if
All right.
Where that is.
He said, Scooty said, "Man, them courts are looking to get ready to look like the DMV."
Hey man, it's on fire tonight. He ain't here, but he here, man.
Hey, for real. Look.
Hey, under new bill, see Clackamas. You talking about it wasn't the sting operation thing, right?
No, it wasn't the sting operation. It kind of talked about Portland in general, how
so Portland. Oh, this is a Portland women, Clackamas County Jail orientation. Portland women.
It was something about Clackamas, but it kind of talked about Portland as a whole, how businesses are moving out, and then from the time, then when it talked about businesses moving out, why they're moving out, how homelessness and crime and all that stuff, and then they talked about like kind of like Clackamas County, how they have the lowest rate, all the way around the board when it comes to crime, when it comes to person-to-person crime or theft and all those other kind of things. Because of that, they take it more seriously out there than they do in Multnomah County and stuff. I'm gonna try to see. I'm gonna look and see which one it was. It's the one that says it's from Fox News, the Oregon revising course. Retail thefts could result in more jail time under new bill.
Oh, is that what I sent you? Because it's. Yeah, that hold on. That's what I just put in the ledger and then brought up.
What's your email address?
It's Olin.Nelson Jr. It's in the chain. You could share it on your end, or are you on a laptop or your phone?
I'm on my laptop.
Okay, so on your laptop you can actually share that video if I'm looking at it there. Let me see. Damn. So Clackamas County pays $45,000 to settle lawsuit alleging deputy pinned down 12-year-old boy. Oh, that's last year. That's some old shit. Let me filter this for recent stuff. This month. From hotels to transitional housing, Clackamas County leaders vote yes on turning hotel into no, that's shelters. Why is public safety collapsing in Portland? Oh, Fox News. Why is it? Is it wise? Okay, I think this is the one. I think this will be it, bro. Let me see.
Oregon reversing course.
Well, hold on.
I remember this being a little crown jewel of the West Coast.
Right
the
here.
City of Rose is a little funky, a little weird, artsy, one of the best food scenes in the world. That's gone. Portland is a Hollow shell of what it used to be. Businesses are fleeing and people are leaving for greener pastures.
If you make over $250,000, you're one of the most heavily taxed people in the country. For what? I mean, I think people are looking around and wondering what services they're getting in return when they see lawlessness, crime, and decay.
Public safety is failing in Multnomah County, and that's not a shocking statement. It's a complete disaster.
2022 set a new record for homicides in the city of Portland.
Record homicides for a second year straight.
Record year of gun violence. 96 homicides in Portland last year, and police already telling us they've responded to 12 shootings in the new year.
Homicides up 61%.
A man dead after a stabbing at a home in the Lentz neighborhood.
One person dead and one hurt.
The walls of her home are covered in bullet holes.
Police have been in a standoff.
Carjacked a passing driver.
The fourth time in the past year that the business has been broken into.
My name is Kevin Barton, and my job title is District Attorney for Washington County. I think it's a true statement to say that we are seeing increased rates of crime throughout the state. Each area has different challenges, but what we're seeing in the metro area is absolutely rising crime.
So what's happening is with our decarceration and elimination of bail culture, we've got all these people running around. We've got people pushing toddlers, a woman pushing a toddler onto the Max tracks. Many of us saw that video. That was not too long ago. Someone's in his 70s, his head was chewed down to his scalp. His ear was ingested. The person who did this was allegedly on drugs. So we have a real crisis on our hands and an intersection of homelessness and crime. And then, of course, this failure to prosecute. And it's really scary because we also have this anti-police culture. You say you support the police. I think you'll get the middle finger pretty quickly. How are people suggesting that we address homicides, if not with police?
Portland area is made up of 3 big counties, the biggest counties in the state. Multnomah County is the biggest, and there's Washington County and Clackamas County. We make up the tri-county Portland area, the greater Portland area.
Washington County is a large county. It's the second most populous county in Oregon. Property crime has increased, violent crime has increased. But I should say the increases that we're seeing are nothing like the increases that we're seeing in our neighbors, Multnomah County. So we are still a very, very safe county. In fact, we are the safest large county in Oregon.
I'm John Wentworth. I'm the Clackamas County District Attorney. As I sit here and have this interview, there's a homeless camp right outside of my window. And that's unique. This has never happened before. And an increase in organized retail crime, we see that. We've seen an increase in domestic violence. It really took off, in my opinion, probably in the last 3 years. The rise in crime is more moderated in Clackamas County than I would say it is in, say, Multnomah County. That's a community that has a great deal of crime. 2 years ago, they had the highest homicide rate, Portland did, that it had ever had. Not just the rate, but the raw numbers. Largest number of homicides ever, and they topped that last year. We had 5. Part of it is the population and what they expect from their local government. Part of it is efforts to defund the police, which has worked. I mean, the number of police officers at the Portland Police Bureau has just plummeted, which makes actually investigating crime challenging.
What's frustrating is I hear this from a couple different cities. 911 calls and non-emergency calls have dropped, therefore there's less crime. I would say that's not true. What's happening is people are less likely to call because you can't get a hold of anybody, or if you call, this says we're not going to go there. I witnessed a smash and grab this summer in Portland, Oregon, and I happened to be standing right there when it happened and filmed it. So not only did I witness the person, I have it on tape, and then I chased them for about a mile. I called 911 and they said, we're not going to pursue. I did everything and they said, we're not going to pursue. That sends the wrong message. Why do you think the criminals are out there doing this? Because they know even if a person calls the police aren't going to show. And I wouldn't say it's the police fault because I'm a strong believer in public safety and I love working with the police. It's their hands are tied because of politics. And if a cop knows it's not going to be prosecuted, why are they going to waste their time on 2 hours of paperwork and drive them down just to go release an hour later? It's a waste of time for everybody. Cities that are softer on crime, of course, crime is going to go through the roof.
And Clackamas County does things differently, and our policies are different than what you would see in Multnomah County. So I'm proud to say that our police are fully funded in Clackamas County. We made sure that it's the number one budget item from our general budget is to make sure that our sheriffs and our deputies are fully funded.
We have a strong message, and that is that the mission of public safety is keeping people safe. And so that means that your car should be there when you get back to it if you park it somewhere with its catalytic converter. Your home should not be burglarized. Your children should be safe at school. And when you walk down the street, you should feel safe. If you commit a crime, you will be held accountable for that, because that will dissuade people from committing crime.
18.20%.
And those who do commit crime will be dealt with, incarcerated if that's the appropriate answer, or rehabilitation will be promoted for them if that's the appropriate answer. Our crime rate is about 30% below the state average, and it's about 50% below Multnomah County.
Damn.
Look at them numbers.
70 to 80% of the cases that we see. The quality of investigation that we get tends to be good and allows us to actually do our part of the job to ensure that when a victim reports crime, something happens as a result.
So if you were to only look at, for example, theft charges in Washington County, for misdemeanor theft charges, which is basically someone stealing something that's worth less than $1,000. So think of shoplifting at a Target or a small business or a Home Depot. We file about 91% of those cases. So 9 out of every 10 of those cases that comes in the front door gets prosecuted. And over 90% of those cases result in convictions.
Those prosecution rates aren't the same from county to county, and I think has created some challenges for counties that have lower prosecution rates.
You see Washington County out here.
Right.
I mean, if it was in Multnomah County, like you would got released already. It's up.
I know. It's because it's Washington County.
Oh my.
You can't let anything slip. I don't see graffiti and see the beauty of independent expression. I see vandalism. I see a crime. I see a business owner or the public that has to address and pay for the repair that has to be done because of the graffiti. That's philosophical.
But local policies that are done the right way with a little bit of tough love and not enabling this behavior will have vastly different outcomes than the neighboring city right next door to them. You can walk down your street and feel safe, that you can go down the store, your kid can ride the bike in the neighborhood where you live and feel safe, that your kids can go on the swing sets and not have to worry about falling onto someone's dirty needles.
Portland is our largest city in our state. Portland needs to succeed. And if Portland succeeds, the rest of the state succeeds. So we all have a vested interest in making that happen. What we know is that businesses are leaving Portland, people are leaving Portland, and visitors aren't coming to Portland. That needs to stop immediately. And it starts with leadership at all levels. It's not just one individual person or one individual office, but it's all levels of leadership need to exist to say enough is enough. And this needs to be a safe city that prioritizes letting people live their lives in safety.
The people that are leaving are the people that are paying for all the social programs that the far left is waving goodbye to. I don't know who they think is going to be funding all that stuff, because they certainly are not.
We're committed to the principles and values that made Oregon one of the most beautiful and wonderful states in the union, and it's worth saving. Voters need to wake up and vote differently. We need people to look at the outcomes and say, did these leaders make this worse or better for me? Is my life better today than it was? This is my home, and I'm committed to bringing Oregon back.
Yeah, I didn't use it. I didn't, man. That was actually good to play that. That shit puts it in a whole different kind of fucking perspective. And Ivory says these dirty motherfuckers are ruining the town's beauty. They need to deport these rotten motherfuckers back to whatever state they came from. Charge that state for the traveling costs.
Now you're speaking my language.
Hey.
I've been saying this for I don't know how long. You know, I don't have no sympathy when it comes to this shit, man. Like I said,
Man, there's law and order, man. Fuck all. I mean, fuck what you going through.
absolutely.
You know, I mean, seriously though. I mean, there's services and stuff out here for people though, but it's like it's like it's unchecked. You know, it's like you have resources to try to help the problem, or you're just throwing money at the shit.
Man, they just throwing money at the shit.
You know, but look what we looking at. I mean, those pictures like brought it out. You know, like it didn't look like that when we was little or when we was young.
Man, this was one of the. I mean, I would say 12 years ago. We just say 12 years ago. I mean, just traveling around the country, man. Portland used to be one of the cleanest. Oregon, as a whole state, used to be one of the cleanest states that I've ever been to.
The state is fine as Portland,
right? And I've been to it, but since Portland is allowing this, you know, it's making other outside entities, like in other cities as well, look bad because some of those people are seeping out into other counties as well.
But here's the difference. But if you listen to what they're talking about though, and we look at how they deal with crime versus that shit ain't gonna last because of the fact that way they run their shit.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, out here
over there, they stomping it out before it comes, you know, before it gets to anywhere. Because
like I said, out of my house, there is no crime.
That's what I'm
saying.
There ain't
no crime out here
because they're prosecuted for anything.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. If you out of order, you know what I'm saying. But I mean, that's how you keep the shit tight. And it's like, oh, I ain't finna get down out here because they're gonna stop you free. They're gonna fuck with you every time. And so in Portland, it ain't gonna do that. So yeah, I get that it can affect them, but as long as I mean, you look at those numbers as far as their prosecution rates, you're going to jail. You fuck up out there, you're going to jail, nigga.
He said, man, out of 191 is being prosecuted and 90 of them is going to jail. Period.
There you go. And then how many of them motherfuckers on probation?
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You know, like you're going to jail. You're gonna have to do some programming. You're gonna have to, you know what I mean? Like that's just what it is. Right. You know, I can get down with some shit like that. You know, right. Like I said, I got some phone calls to make on Monday. You know what I mean? Like for real, man. I like the way that they're doing things over there, man. Like, cause the way that Portland look right now, man, it's horrible, bro. Like it's just.
Yeah, it's because, you know, Portland is, I mean, it's the biggest city and it has the highest population, of course, that determines that. But, you know, it's left, it's hard left, you know, it's really progressive, you know, and it's gotten out of hand under that leadership. And now we see the results of it.
All these jobs, all these big businesses are leaving, they ain't coming back. So that means that more people are out of jobs. You know, it's just
right.
Commerce.
It's yeah, it fucks with our commerce for real. It fucks with all of our whole situation.
People don't want to come here and visit. People don't want to, you know what I mean? Like downtown is horrible. I hate that, bro. I'll be so nervous and scared to park downtown in certain places, bro, because they breaking into everything. My nephew's car done been broken into, bro. He lived downtown.
Right.
And it's like at least once a month, man, his car's getting broken into.
Fuck that shit.
At least once a month, bro. The day before the wedding, his car got broken into. The month before that, man, they done like tore up his steering wheel and his ignition thing and everything. Man, they fucking with his hub. I mean, they messing with the gas thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, bro, like every other month, bro, with something else. I'm like, man, if I couldn't park mine in the garage somewhere down there or something, bro, I'm like, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I know. The last time I hadn't been down there in over a year, I want to say, and I went down there to perform with Anthony and them a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I parked in the parking garage or whatnot. I still was nervous about doing that, you know, but I just was, you know, walking around down there, you know, and just looking because I haven't been down there in so long, and it just was like it was just like Night of the Living Dead. I mean, it was like zombies everywhere.
Yeah,
you know, like just people with blankets and shit, you know what I mean, and laying on the floor, on the ground and shit. I was like, it was just terrible, bro. Portland is ugly, bro. It is
it's
so
like
ugly.
how you supposed to run a business and your kids and your family got to step over peeing, people are sleeping in front of the building, smelling like piss and pee, rats running all over. This ain't New York. You know what I'm saying? That's how New York look.
That's how Portland looks.
That's how That's how San Francisco looked the same way.
I'm saying, but you know, it's pretty much LA.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And we was on the podcast months ago or whatever. And you know, I was talking about California in terms of like, well, they have the biggest economy. And I'm like, yeah, that's all fine and well. But you look at the cities and how they're being ran and stuff like that, having a big economy, what good is that to you if you know your leadership ain't running it or spending the money properly, you know what I'm saying, to fix, you know, to take care of this shit.
And all those businesses over there, they leaving California, they ain't never coming back. They taxing people too much, and look what they
they're going to Texas and Florida,
right.
You know,
But
and
the problem of it is that unfortunately everybody trying to move to Texas and Florida and those places, and
it's turning that same into the same thing it was.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's what happened here
in Atlanta.
Politics. It's the Nah, Portland was already a liberal city. Yeah, that's
but I mean,
it became more progressive. That's what happened. When you talk about how this, I mean, LGBTQ and all this other bullshit, you know, that they're pushing out here real hard, you know, on people. It has nothing to do, you know, they don't talk about economy, don't talk about the shit that affects families. They want to talk about pronouns and shit. You know, I don't give a fuck about that. You know what I mean? But, you know, our city is deteriorating right before our eyes in real time. Real fucking time. Rats increased.
Absolutely.
This nigga Ivory said, "I'll pay you." How much he said he'll pay a nigga to walk downtown from from one point to another point in flip flops. He said he wouldn't do it.
Ugh.
You know, yeah, right. And that's
you gonna catch something.
He said you fall down out there, nigga. You gonna catch a staph infection.
Man, you gonna be itching. You gonna be itching and all that within 10 minutes.
You got a full rash, full body rash.
Nigga go downtown, gotta take his shoes off before he walk in the house. Shit, it's filthy as fuck down there, bro. Like it's just walking, like it just smells like piss, you know. And people might think I'm over exaggerating. No cap, bro. I was down there, bro. I you know, there's a part of me that don't want to believe that it's that bad, but I was just down there, bro. It's that bad, bro.
Bro, pick a block near you.
Human shit on the ground. You know, you hear about it, but I see it right there, a pile of shit. Now, you know, dog did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you, man. You got corn in that shit.
And you really got to be on your, I mean, bro, you really got to just be on your P's and Q's down there, man, because, you know, people down there is getting tried every day, man. Just people just going to go shop. You know what I'm saying? You got people getting knocked out, hit on side the head. Man, just
you'll fuck around, get stabbed by a bum nigga and die. What a terrible death. Jesus Christ. But that's what happened though. You know, you fuck around and go
you know, they're not, they just need help and treatment. You know, that's why we don't send them to jail, you know, because they need help.
Oh, remember they said if it's a situation to send a counselor out, right?
Right.
You know, and I think Hardesty, that lady or whatever, I voted for her the first time, but then when I came out of my fog and realized,
bro, she is though. Oh
I know. I said I came out my fog and realized what was happening, and then all this. Then this is when the top blew off, when COVID and George Floyd and all this shit was going on, and then you know they was talking about defund the police. That was the thing, and then she get caught up here at the casinos, nigga, you know, talking about calling the police on the motherfucker. What you calling the police for this little shit for?
Bro, she been out
call
there.
A counselor.
Bro, she be out there all the time getting slizzard, man. I didn't see her.
I seen her too.
I done seen her a few times out there, man, full of it at that slot machine.
Mad because she
cracking,
losing.
man. Losing all that Portland money, nigga.
All your tax dollars.
Mm-hmm.
I done seen it with my own eyes. So
me too.
I done seen her out there.
You know what I'm saying?
For real.
Like, and I don't even go out there that much. I ain't been to LNA and
I was out there a couple months ago. I was out there with Ivory and them. We went late night. Yeah.
I might have been in the last couple of years, bro. I probably done been twice. And I done seen her. And Don
So
done
that
seen
means
her. And Don done seen her.
Yeah,
and you didn't seen her.
Yeah,
so
she
how
goes a
many
lot.
times is she really out there? That's all I'm saying.
But she was out there causing a ruckus, man. Talking about
Everywhere she goes, she causes a ruckus.
With her ugly ass.
It's gonna be somebody discriminated against me if she don't get her way.
Right, and I know, and when I talk to Nate about it, you know, because he works, you know, gang task and all that kind of stuff, you know,
Her nephews is a gang member.
Right, that's what he's telling me. He's like, she said that Portland don't have a gang problem when they had the meeting with the city council and all that kind of stuff, and they were saying, and Nate's like, the fuck, you know, they're like, what do you mean, you know? So they had a bad they didn't have a good relationship with her because they took away the funding for their program for them to be able to kind of mediate a lot of those situations when there were gang, you know, potential for violence between gang members. They were able to, you know, interact with those kids that were involved and shit like that, and, you know, thwart some of that shit. Took away the funding and shit, and right when that started happening, I remember when they had came over here, and sure enough, that shit boomed. Like the crime that we see, it boom, bro. Like literally,
1000%.
I remember the conversation I remember him sharing that with me, and gradually, and that was 2020. It's 2023, you know, and this shit just and those numbers that showed on the screen from that little segment we just watched. I mean, it's outstanding. I mean, it's astounding. It's astounding.
There's not enough prosecutors, man. There's not enough public defenders. There's not enough anything that's here. That's why people are not going to jail either. It's a slew of problems, man. But yeah, man. Like I said, I can get one like in this county, man. I need to do some business with them. You know what I'm saying? They messing around over here, man. I can get with some judges and some people over there, man. And we can motherfucking make a difference.
Right, even make it even better.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, but Portland got to do something, get their head out their ass.
I mean, we keep voting in the people that we keep voting in, ain't nothing gonna change here.
But like
they ain't gonna change.
But like Don was saying, though, part of like we were talking about the California thing, or even Oregon, you know, businesses moving in states like California or to Arizona, things of that nature. And so what I'm starting to see in the last say 8 years or whatever, that the people that do move to these places and traditionally red states or counties and stuff like that in these areas are now turning purple, meaning you get more people, more Democrats, or Democrats, progressive, liberals, whatever, you know, and so that changes the landscape, you know.
And that's what people are afraid of, because at first Atlanta was, you know, somewhat like that or whatever. Now you had everybody moving to Atlanta, and Atlanta is going through the same shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of crime, a bunch of this, a bunch of that. So now you got everybody moving to Texas and taking their views from California, from Oregon to Texas. You know what I mean? So, you know, when it looks like that, it's like, okay, well, what are those states going to look like? You know, eventually in the next 10
to 15 years, that's how you look at it. And because that shit changes that quick.
Yeah. So, you know, you look at it, okay, well, now you trying to, these states are going to end up potentially changing because of the people that you have coming in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the low colonizing, on the low.
Yep. Basically.
Yeah, that just sounds disgusting. Shit, these motherfuckers just spread their fucking bullshit all over the world. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing about them, and I'm gonna tell you though, and this is why it's so effective, because them motherfuckers be voting, and they on motherfucker, they on point when it comes to that shit. We're gonna stick to the lie, and the Republicans was good at that too. You know what I mean? That's why they was, you know, winning a lot. You know what I mean? Now they kind of they confused. They don't know how to fucking talk to people or interact with people because they don't fuck with niggas because they already know we the racist party and da. So that we know they ain't gonna fuck with us. So why would he even try to get their votes and shit?
Right.
I mean, that's not even the way to look at this shit because there's tons of fucking black conservatives and Republicans and shit like that who don't like this shit no more than less than anybody else, and they like, wait a minute, motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Like, come pay attention to you. Start talking and communicating with these people speaking their language. That's their biggest failure. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I will see the one thing that the Democratic Party has done well with the black community is, they focus on the black woman. So, and the black woman kind of controls the black vote. So they know if they can get behind, women's issues and things like that to make women feel empowered, or so that's where a lot of the LGBTQ stuff, that's how we kind of fall in line with that. And then once that falls in line, it's like, okay, well, anything that comes behind that kind of gets passed because they have the black women's vote.
But here's the thing, though, that ain't the end all, because what you're seeing is, or you can see it from the last election, that a lot of black men and black women increased the vote for the other side. This shit's changing. They don't offer nothing to black men. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they never concentrated on the black men ever.
No, because of the plan, the way it's set up is set up to keep us debilitated.
Right.
Because our families are not intact.
Right.
The nuclear family is not a thing no more.
Right. So if we're giving things to the woman, Let's give it vouchers. Let's give this. Let's give that.
That's the most effective thing they've done to us. When you think about gangs and all that type of shit, crime gonna come from that. So that's the setup. They set it up cool. We vote at a 96% clip for them motherfuckers without even thinking, unconsciously. We gonna vote for them because it equals to programs or something, or because you a fucking victim. That's the simple version.
It'd be like, oh, you ain't going to jail. We gonna give you $1,000. You know what I mean?
I don't like that.
That's what it be to get your vote.
Well, so the bums, those homeless motherfuckers, and the illegals to come up, nigga, them motherfuckers is getting they getting treated.
Bro, they get free needles.
Free needles, free meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like Irie said. The day we give
was that video, because I couldn't hear it. Was that the video that was saying how they going to give $1,000 a month to people?
No. We talked about that last time we was on. I think that was Tuesday or Wednesday, or did we do Thursday? I don't remember. Whatever day it was, the last show we did, we talked about that.
But that's Sonoma County for you.
Yeah, we're gonna do that with throwing money at it. We're gonna give low income people and homeless people $1,000 a month for a year. We're
gonna give them a place to live and stay for free without any kind of recourse. We just gonna give it to them.
Well, I mean, that's socialism, but that's socialism. That's what people they want. They want socialism. They want the government to supply these things for them.
Yeah, I don't, because it's not the government supplying it.
It's us.
Right.
No. But we are the government. We are the people. So yeah.
Yeah, but but people that are uneducated, they don't see that.
I mean, right, but we know that's what it is, though. It's like that's how this shit operates. It's through taxes. It ain't nothing getting done without paying taxes. So, and to fix these problems, it takes tax dollars. But then it's like when you have a leadership that's looking to try to help everybody. You can't help people that don't want to be helped. You can't lead nobody that don't want to be fucking led. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just time to come up with something different. I don't know what it is. Well, anyway, we're going to move right along. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the PDXDOPE Live podcast. It's been my pleasure. Thank you, Jermaine. Thank you, Petty LaBelle, for joining. Thank you all who came and checked us out, man. Check us out next Friday. We'll be back at you with some more stuff to talk about. You guys have a good evening, and we out of here like that.
I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere. Got something to dance to for players and squares. Drugs and booze we share. The smell of weed smoke and sex in the air. Come and play with me if you dare. It's hotter than Hell's Kitchen, women everywhere. We living it up until the clock stop. Rockin' hip hop, we go hard to the last shot. Or my body drop, plant it in the box. Alright, let me get something clear on top. We're not here for approval. We're not here to be liked.
Right on. Thank you, Geneva. All right, there. Thanks, Scooty. Hey, man, you guys, good night. I'm out. I'm finna, I think I'm finna bake some chicken. Probably not. I'm finna go to get some fast food. There it is. There, you're free. Anyway, I'm out, y'all. Deuces.
Thanks.